Arrakis. Dune, the desert planet, located in the Canopus star system. It is the only source of spice in the galaxy, the most valuable drug. It allows safe space travel, extends life, and is the favorite food of the most precious creatures in the universe. The donkeys, those lovely animals used to have a life of tranquility, peacefully grazing spice in the deep desert, until the terrible war broke out between the Harkonnen and the Atreides. Their shepherd, the Fremen, were wiped out by the Sardaukars, forcing them to live alone and afraid forever. Unless you make the most important decision of your life. Join Donkey Force 7, trained in the art of close combat by Swordmaster Donkey Idaho and in tactics by Warmaster Goofy Halleck. Donkey Force 7 gather the best, the bravest, and the strongest donkeys of them all. Led by the Beaver Kenry, a political mastermind whose skills in statecraft, diplomacy, and gaslighting are unmatched, Donkey Force 7 is a fearful sight, both in the battlefield and in the Landsrad. Our purpose is to follow the lone beaver of the desert on the path led by our prophet Shamu, for the quality of the donkeys is ephemeral, and their love abounds. So join us, join Donkey Force 7, and become a hero, become a legend, become a donkey.
Does anyone else like the donkeys? Shout out to Adros for that one. That's our recruitment video for our Dune Awakening Guild, Donkey Force 7. I had to play that because it is a masterpiece. I love it. I love it. But what are we here for? We're here for the Dune. So let's get some Dune up on your screen. We got some Dune Spice Wars tonight. We got the Beginners Tournament, the last pod, and we are already underway, ladies and gentlemen. I figured we could live without that first couple of minutes of slow expansion, but let's get going here. And it looks like we got ourselves a spicy map to work with here. Tonight, we've got Mesa-like, it's Mesa-like pie, I think, or Mesa-like pie, but he's not playing Mesa. Mesa-like pie over on Vernius. We've got Sanimation on the Smugglers. DOS is on House Ikaz, and we have Alpha Skitari over on the Harkonnens, way down south, all by themselves. This is the final group stages of our beginners tournament. The winner of this will go on to the grand finals. Should be very exciting. And yeah, it's looking good. We ought to have a lot of fun here. These are some up and coming beginners, and they are excited to jump in the ring. Everyone tells me they're quite nervous about this because we've got them on the big stage tonight. Oh yeah, you did catch me live. Welcome. We're in an American live stream tonight because we are much too late for our European friends. Go to bed, guys. It's way too late for you. You're gonna ruin your circadian rhythm by staying up to watch this. You can catch the VOD tomorrow. It'll be there ready for you. If you're in America, then the evening is just coming on. You got plenty of time for some Spice Wars. So let's roll with it, shall we? Let's take a look at Mesa-like pie over on House Vernius, doing the quick expansion thing with the old Suboid blob. You love to see it. Suboid's a fan favorite, even though they die like ants. We've got we do have an interesting spawn here. You're right, Sam B. Harky's all alone way down south with mountains and deserts blocking them off from everyone. Ikaz, very middle spawned, pretty close to some neighbors. No desert between Ikaz and Smugglers, just territory. It's a very unique map. Should be a fun one. Over here for Vernius, let's take a look again. They've got one Spice Harvester here. Just a little to the north, they've got Well of Riches, pretty easily within their grasp. To the west of that, not too far, is Sandfall, but these look like Ikaz territory to me. If we head back into, they've got a very nice Worm Nest special region. That's some spice and a special region, the twofer. I always love to have that. Very comfortable and safe in the back of Vernius lands. If they make their way excuse me, they make their way down south. We've got a great volcano, always valuable, but you're starting to get into Harkonnen lands down there if you venture that far south. If they head towards the middle, there's a very easy second or third spice there for them. Though the village is actually a little bit Harkonnen favored as well. It's sort of a long, thin region of spice, and the village is way down south. Might be hard to hold. You might be able to hold it early on, but eventually I would expect the Harkonnens to pick that up. Hey, you're welcome for the spicy content. Always happy to provide, my friends. Thanks for joining me tonight. Over towards the mid, towards the Polar Sink, we've got a space cruiser wreck. 3 really top tier, A tier at least, special regions. Space cruiser wreck, always valuable. Worm nest, everyone loves it. Well of riches, everyone loves it. 3 really good special regions for Vernius. Probably only 3. We'll see. Actually, the Polar Sink, the village is actually quite Vernius favored. It's spawned on the eastern side of it, closest to Vernius lands, so they might be able to lay claim to the Polar Sink as well. But in order to do so, they're going to have to tangle with the Ekaz, who spawned much closer to the center than everybody else, damn near right on top of it. You can see foliage from the Polar Sink. You could throw a drone and hit it from here. What does the Ekaz territory look like up here? Ekaz grabbed their spice field very quickly. Not much in the way of quirks on it. Grabbed their adjacent fuel cell as well. That one's at least got fast agent recruitment speed, which is nice to pick up early in the game, helps speed along those agents. And they're out and about already doing some pillaging. Now, the trouble for Ekaz with this spawn is because it's very wide open, and they didn't get really many of the deep deserts or the mountains spawned by them, so it makes it a little trickier in order to make fast sanctuaries, which in turn slows down your expansion a bit. They've got some decent land to work with, but sanctuaries are going to be tricky. That one above them, probably obvious there. There's no real super obvious ones. They're going to have to work for those sanctuaries. Hopefully they weren't leaning into it too much. We've got a first Landsrat out, though, and Imperial Propaganda, always valuable early in the game. A nice boost to your authority production. Authority allows you to expand faster, so that's good for everybody. We've got 3 of the major houses, Ekaz, Harkonnens, and Vernius, and Smugglers. So Smugglers don't have any votes until they hit a certain hegemony threshold, so they're not going to do a whole lot in the Landsrad. And Ekaz and Harkonnens are equal to one another, and Vernius has already been trading research agreements and non-aggression pacts, so they're actually a little behind on the influence. House Ekaz locks down the propaganda for themselves. The Harkonnens grab foreign recruitment. That's a good choice for the Harks there. Ekaz withdrew from it to grab a little extra influence. Harks grabbed it because they're very manpower hungry early in the game and through all other parts of the game as well. And then finally, Chump Subsidies does not pass, so nobody gets any free Plascrete. And we're just moving along. We'll talk about some of the diplomacy a little bit once we get through everything, but just right off the bat, Vernius traded non-aggression with the Ekaz, non-aggression with the Smugglers, and a research agreement with the Smugglers. No one needs to be non-aggression with the Harkonnens because they're 1,000 miles away down south. Let's keep looking at Ekaz lands here. Up to the north, we talked about a little bit before. They got Sandfall. That ought to be theirs. I don't think Vernius can reasonably reach that one. Sandfall always another strong special region, quite valuable. 6% of your upkeep as knowledge, so you just build all of your expensive upkeep buildings here. It also has a rare elements in it, which makes it even a little extra valuable. Sandfall is very nice. A spice field way in the back. You almost want this to not be a spice field because this would be a very easy sanctuary to take, but you don't want to sanctuary it really if it's going to be spice for you. Interestingly, you got the Crescent Ridge over here. Crescent Ridge is pretty lousy as far as special regions go, but it's in a very interesting spot. It's very reasonable for Ekaz to make that into a sanctuary. And then just sit on it and use it for an end game kind of boost. Now, savvy players will look around the map and keep an eye on things and say, Ekaz is sitting on a special sanctuary. So they'd be aware of, when they're doing their calculations, that there's quite a bit more of a last minute hegemony boost that Ekaz might be able to pull through. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It also pays dividends just to grab it and put a craft workshop and start cooking your hedge on it too. Another spice over there, so easy peasy, 1 spice, 2 spice, 3 spice. Probably only 3 spice, but they're 3 relatively safe, easy to hold ones. To the west of them, they have the Observatory Mountain, which is a pretty decent one. It gives you extra data centers and listening posts, always reasonably useful. And probably, I would expect that to be ECAS territory as well, though I wouldn't be surprised if the smugglers fought over it too. We'll see how that goes. ECAS are playing Sanya for the sanctuaries, which is unfortunate because it's going to be a while before any sanctuaries come up. And of course, Ebo Vip, who is one of the most indispensable counselors in the game. Just the ability to use Landsrad immunity alone is probably the most overpowered single ability in the game. Maybe rivaling, if not better, than Princess Urulon's double building trait. But you never leave home without Ebo Vip. Sanya and the others are optional. Sanya, I like Sanya myself, but she's not going to be a lot of help here for poor DOS because his spawn is unique, to say the least. We do see Vernius expanded west. Grab that spacing rack real quick. That makes sense to me. Getting your hands on it early on allows you to benefit from the bonus spaceship parts right away. It also gives him access to this spice field down here. Because remember, the Vernius don't need to actually take the spice fields. They just need their purple line to be adjacent to the spice fields. And they can send a harvester down to it. At least until someone else grabs it. Let's head to the west. Third in line, we'll look at Sanimation over here on the smugglers. Sani, well, first real quick, let's backtrack and say we've got Bolig and Bronzo on Vernius. Bronzo is the fast expansion counselor for House of Vernius, gives them minus 20% to the authority needed and also gives them a free airfield. And Bolig is the pretty standard letting you build multiple special buildings, multiple buildings in your districts, your main base, and gives you extra knowledge for them, lets you rearrange them, all kinds of good stuff. Bolig's very standard. Anyways, back to our smugglers who have Stakhanov and Staban Tuik. Stakhanov is pretty common these days. I think probably the best option for the smugglers, just because he allows just some crazy stuff to happen. Even if you don't take advantage of him, even if you only use him, maybe there's only one far-flung region that is Stakhanov and all your other regions are connected, he's still worthwhile because it's just crazy making people take twice as long to siege things down. Staban Tuik, Heir of the Underworld, just gives you one extra Underworld slot in all of your Underworlds around the map. Very standard as well. Harkonnens have taken Research Agreement and Non-Aggression Pack from the Smugglers. ECAS has taken Research Agreement and Non-Aggression Pack from the Smugglers. Okay. Non-Aggression Packs and the Research Agreements are flying thick. So we don't expect a whole lot of early aggression here. Going to be a bit more of a passive smuggler game. They've got plenty of territory to raid, and probably not going to raid the ECAS territory if they're spending their influence to make treaties with them. Let's see what the smuggler lands look like. How do these... Some pretty solid traits here. You do love a 20% more production on your opening spice refinery. That's very useful. It's a great quirk to have. They also got the very quick... fuel cells right next to their base. That ought to allow them, I'm hoping he's doing it. Organized looting is unlocked to scavenge drone, but I want him to go up to industrial scavenging. Get that scav drone online immediately and just start paying dividends with it. Scavenging drones are really important for the smugglers, especially if you can grab super quick access to an energy source. Get it going. And it's 92% done. Good boy. Good job, Sanimation. But don't forget industrial scavenging, which actually pays a lot more dividends because it gives you that minus 30% upkeep for your army. So boom, just make 30% more army and you'd be paying the same amount as you would have before. But so far so good. We also see a very quick Imperial Basin for him. That ought to help his manpower quite a bit. Smugglers sometimes a little tight on manpower if they opt for fewer territories captured. Ooh, and Vernius very aggressively has gone out and taken the middle as well. The Polar Sink already in Vernius' hands. I like it. I like it a lot. Harkonnens are up here. Are they going to annex this yet? Or are they... Yeah, they are annexing it. Vernius never even got a chance to put their harvester here. Harkonnens have snagged it. They're putting the spice fields under their control. But I'm getting distracted. We got to finish up talking about our smuggler friend. Get some uwus in the chat for DOS. We've got second Landsrat out. Water subsidies plus 20 water. Polar Sink costs no authority to capture. Too bad. Too late. So sad. Vernius already spent their authority to capture it. Imperial Audit is out. That might give a boost to Landsred standing for someone. Valuable really for everyone. Vernius maybe wants it more than most since they spend their Landsred standing on machines and neural nodes and all sorts of other things. And research investments for everybody. I would expect it to pass since it does have a dear to minor houses on it. Okay, water subsidies fails. Vernius votes against it because they already have it. Imperial Audit passes for ECAS. Good for them. And research investments does pass as well. So a general reminder, I want all of our players to be switching back to economy tech since it is now 50% faster. We'll give them like 2 days and then we're going to check on them. We're going to grade everybody on how well they've switched to economy tech. Anyways, back to our smugglers. 1 spice, 2 spice, maybe a 3rd spice if they head down south, but they might have to fight Harkonnens for that. We'll see. I feel like there's not a lot of spice spawns unless the Harkonnens got them all. 1, 2, 3 or 4. Yeah, pretty fairly evenly distributed, the spice fields as far as I can tell. But we do have the Imperial Basin already under their control. In the backfield, they have Acid Lakes, which is a pretty decent one. Up north, they've got the Mundu Vale, which is really lousy, but it is a special region, and it's quite smuggler favored at least. Towards the middle, not much. Down south, not much. There is Mount Idaho here. Look at this. Very narrow little pass between these two gigantic deep deserts. But you're starting to get down into Harkonnen territory there. But this could totally be... it would totally be reasonable for the smugglers even to skip this spice field entirely. Smugglers can be quite independent from spice harvesting if they want to be, and come down here and make this a little Stackanow of Mount Idaho. That would be fun to see. I would enjoy that. It's a bold play, though, and I'm not sure... Oh, we're missing some action. We've already got some combat up here. Looks like Harkonnens are invading Vernius lands, but Vernius is maybe getting the better of him with a Suboid swarm. He does have a Fremen mercenary. He does have a fight engineer. And there's a militia helping. And the worms are coming. Oh, worms hit Vernius real bad there. Probably turns the tide here. Oh, they lost their mercenary. They lost their fight engineer. Oh, devastating for Misa Like Pie over here. He's going to get at least pillaged, I would expect here. No. For their trouble, Alpha Skitari has decided that he wants a liberate. That's tricky. How are we looking on manpower? Manpower is extremely tight. He could buy a couple of drones for Vernius if he wanted to. We do have 2 Suboids in the pipe, but that's not going to be enough to fight off 2 troopers. Troopers pretty decently armored, and Suboids can't really do anything about armor. Oh wait, he bought mercenaries, a marauder and a ranged marauder. They could do this. They could win this fight. Because those guys are weak, as long as we have some decent micro here, shoot and scoot, target down the weak one, in come the Suboids. Okay, he ought to be good. Oh, and looks like he's got automated defenses online as well, because we can see this neural node popping off. Very good, very good. I like to see it. We do have reinforcements coming in for the Harkonnens, but it's not going to be enough. Get these Suboids tasked on the gunner. They do poorly against the troopers who have a lot of armor. Gunners have no armor as well, and the Suboids actually will do quite good DPS against the gunners. But the Harkonnens opt to retreat. Vernius has defended their lands. We got a big old stack of smugglers marching across the desert, marching over towards ECAS. Thinking about it, marching back, is not so sure. He does have a non-aggression pact with ECAS. I think we've said about all we need to say. We've got some decent territory. Some good options for the smugglers as well. I'd say most of these regions have looked pretty balanced so far. Just with the exception that the map is just kind of wonky in its layout. All the deep deserts are down south, blocking the Harkonnens off from everybody else. Smugglers and ECAS are basically holding hands here, and we'll see how that turns out. A very narrow strip of land for Vernius, but Vernius likes long, narrow strips, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And like I said, I really like the fast automated defenses, especially if you're going to get in any trouble, which you are getting in trouble. Automated defenses mean that this neural node here works as a turret, and you've got the 2 free automated militia here, and that alone ought to keep the Harkonnens honest, but they're looking greedily to their north. They're coming up probably just to pillage that, I would guess. They got a lot of territory down here to work with without getting into fisticuffs with Vernius here. Vernius not as easy a mark as you might have thought. They did a good job defending themselves there. Let's look at our Harkonnen strategic position here. Down south, way down south, Carthage has spawned. He's picked up his minerals real quick with a 10% resource production and 3 water on it. Very nice. He is annexing this, which is just an empty region. Nothing much in that. Oh, it actually has 20 Solari per enemy unit dying in ally territory, which is a huge perk for the Harkonnens to have, especially if they get into their oppression economy, which they don't have going yet. But if they do, that's every rebel you kill pays out extra money. So that's a huge quirk to have if you go that route. Little extra money, little extra plascrete on their home spice field. They opted for a second spice field very quickly. They opted for a third spice field very quickly. If we check the spice income, Harkonnen's already making as much as the whole lobby put together. Plus 100 a day for Harkonnens, 34 on ECAS, 34 smugglers, 45 Vernius. So Hark's going for that fast spice, and the exchange rate is excellent right now, 2.3. It's going to bottom out at 1.5 the next period, but for right now, the Harkonnens should be printing money. Not quite as much as you would expect, but they must be spending a lot elsewise. They've got a lot of plascrete and a lot of recruitment offices online, and paying for a larger army as well. But looks like they're doing their pillaging thing. Looks like smugglers are pillaging, or is he annexing over here? What good is it? It is an annex. He's going for the forward Stakhanov. The Mount Idaho is getting picked up by the smugglers. Harkonnens aren't going to be happy to see that, but it's their own damn fault for heading way up north and picking fights with Vernius when there's all this juicy territory around them as well. Now, the good news for the Harks is this is just a great spot to spawn in. You're pretty protected from the rest of the lobby. You've got that border with Vernius, and you've got that border with the smugglers, but there is no way ECAS could ever get to you. So you really ought to be able to chase a win con kind of unapologetically and not worry about the 3v1. At worst, I think you might have to deal with a 2v1. And I think if a decent Harkonnen should be able to hold that. So I'd love to see them just go all in on craft workshops and or deep into, they got a lot of territory to pillage, so they ought to be able to make a lot of money off of it. They might be able to chome, though there's the other factions are all pretty decent money-making factions in their own right. We'll see what it looks like, actually. We'll take a quick peek at the chome market. Nobody's running away. House Harkonnens bought up 7%, 75 shares. ECAS have picked up 65 shares, 20 for the smugglers, and 5 shares for House Vernius. So nobody's running away with it quite so early. Sometimes you really can see, especially by month 3, you could see 20% if someone was really, really diligent on their pillaging, especially the likes of the Harkonnens. Anyways, new Landsraad pops up. Landsraad Examination lowers everyone's standing, but then gives you twice as much the next round. That's usually a net benefit for folks. It does, however, briefly put the smugglers in the pits for the next 20 days or so. So they lose out on influence and the ability to really buy chome shares for that time. Private Mandate did get secured by the smugglers, though. They must have been topped out at influence. Surprising that they were able to beat everybody else over it, because just about everybody would like to have this. Super lucrative for the smugglers, though. You want to pillage everything you can get your greedy fingers on while you've got this. And then ECAS, of course, managed to secure themselves the Imperial Missionaries, which is very lucrative to them because they've got a whole bunch of regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. 1,800 gold secured. Get out there and pillage my son's animation, and it looks like he is doing so. And we've secured Mount Idaho. It is getting defended with an airfield. All right, savvy play. He's aware that is a bit far, a bit aggressive, and could be a point of contention. So he's building military buildings on it. I like it. I like it. Vernius has grabbed their worm nest by bouncing the purple line through the desert. Always good to see where you can expand to using the deep desert, because it can be very restrictive when you, for example, he can't even build a purple line in Xanor right now because it's technically adjacent here and adjacent here, and you can't be adjacent to 2 things at the same time that have the line going through it. So being able to go through the deserts when you're trying to plan out what territories you're going to take is very critical when you're playing Vernius. But looking good. I like this terrain. Already 3 specials grabbed for Vernius. That looks really nice. Nobody's cooking hedge. Smugglers have a tiny trickle just from their underworld headquarters out and about. How's Ekaz doing? They did manage to make this spice field into a sanctuary, maybe by accident, just by taking the things in front of it. It could even live as a sanctuary for a little while, and then eventually you take it over and turn it into some spice production. Ignore the baboops. That's my own Discord, people. I could try to silence that, maybe. But I don't know what buttons to click on it right now. Just ignore the baboops. It's people messaging me, not you. I know it pops up in the stream. It is what it is. You know what else? I realized we've been doing it without the audio the whole time. You guys are supposed to shout at me if something like that happens. There we go. Some people marching through the desert. Some beeps and boops. It ought to be, right? Yeah, a little bit better. I'm all ears. Okay, there we go. We got the sound on. Welcome, welcome. All right, it's looking pretty good. It's pretty multipolar so far. Everyone is doing about what I would want them to do or what I would expect them to do. Harks expanding aggressively to the west, laying claim to Spicefield number 4. It's an awful lot of spice for our Harkonnen friends here. The rate's so good, I kind of want them to just full sell into it. But I also respect that if you understand your own limitations, that maybe you forget about it and you don't want to be stuck with no spice at all. However, now that the worm nest has come online with a fully 4-crewed out harvester in it, Vernius is now making just as much spice, even more spice than the Harkonnens have, only on 2 harvesters currently. I guess we've got that. Oh, I did forget to check and grade everyone's economy tech. Oh, well, it's too late now. I didn't get to see what they were doing. If we do check the tech trees, Vernius has grabbed almost all of the econ tech, is now going deep in the red, has some of the choice parts of green and blue. Looks pretty standard to me. Smugglers have gone deep into the spice harvesting as well in econ, and then have picked up a little bit of red. I would have liked a faster industrial scavenging. I really think it's very valuable if you get that drone out quickly. It's just a constant payout of money. Like, let's do some math real quick. If we check our smuggler friend, he is paying 108 Solari every day for his army. So, if you pick up industrial scavenging, it turns your scavenging drone into plus 30 Solari a day. Wouldn't be too bad. It's not incredible, but seeing as he's negative 30 Solari daily, beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Anyway, he's also starting to pick up some of the deeper red stuff. However, I think his parallel training got interrupted by a patent put on it by Vernius. So he's instead right now grabbing illicit methods, which are and then valuable trinkets. I love trinkets early on. Illicit methods would be fast expansion because it allows you to put extra people, or rather, it allows you to annex stuff with less of a penalty, and allows you to put extra agents on your Arrakis information for your authority generation. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like my tongue's getting tied up here, but we'll make it through. Peace reigns across the land. We do have war between Vernius and the Harkonnens and smugglers, but we have peace. Harkonnens and Ekaz. We have peace between the Harkonnens and the smugglers, which is good for the smugglers because they have delved greedily and deeply into the Harkonnen lands to snag Mount Idaho. He still hasn't even been able to build a plascrete factory here, but he's got a missile turret and an airfield down, so he's just laying claim to it. He just wants that spot. And with that spot, they ought to be able to have at least four juicy smuggler regions. If he's quick, he might even be able to grab Observatory Mountain. It's currently devastated. So maybe we'll see. It's currently devastated. So he did go up and pillage it at one point, but he might be able to grab it out of Ekaz, and that would be quite a coup for the smugglers. Quite a coup. Looking good though. Vernius starting to expand northward, which makes a lot of sense because you want to get that well of riches. Ekaz headed to the west. They are pillaging this, the Crescent Ridge. Now that's interesting. That tells me that maybe he does want to turn that into a sanctuary in the backfield there. Pillaging it, ECAS don't have a special way to ignore the penalty from pillaging like the smugglers do, like the Harkonnens do. So if you pillage something, it's like a 90 day, I think. Is it 90 or 60? It's devastated. Yeah, 90 days hostile, 100% more authority cost for 90 days. For 3 months, you can't annex it unless you pay double the price. So pillaging it is a strong indication that he's just going to leave it as a sanctuary and maybe pick it up later in the end game. Landsrad pops out. We see Vernius and Ekaz chatting with each other. War of Assassins is up. Probably not much in the way of this early game. I don't think anyone's going for the fast assassinations, though. I suppose we could take a quick look through. We do have a Vernius agent on the Harkonnens. So maybe Vernius has an eye for stabbing Harkonnens at some point in the future. Economic investigations is no big deal. Everyone's got all the econ tech they want. Landsrad witnesses is no big deal because we don't really have any conflict right now. So let everyone get some free guards. And Vernius has claimed a couple of extra assassins for a rainy day. A rainy day for somebody. We'll see. Ekaz tussling with some ranged raiders on the front lines. And we see Vernius sneaking out and grabbing extra points of interest with their drones, just like you'd want to do. Harkonnens kind of sitting around. Is this all pillaged? It better be pillaged if you're sitting around. I suppose it mostly is. The volcano is available here, and over to the east is available. Yeah, you got stuff to do. Get out there. You're playing the Harkonnens. You gotta be microing like a madman. Pillage, pillage, pillage. ABP, always be pillaging. Likewise with our smuggler friends up here. If you're going to take it, pillage it. If you're not going to take it, pillage it. Let's check out our Chom market. Any movement? Just for Ekaz, really, who have bought up to 110, climbed into the lead with 9%. Who knew Ekaz would be making the money here? Daily money looks real good for Vernius and for the Harkonnens. Pretty average for Ekaz. We got a decent bank for the smugglers, but their daily is quite poor. That's pretty standard. Smuggler manpower is through the roof. They are capped out at 600. Whew, that's a lot of manpower. And their army also, 52 of 65. We've got 40 of 40 for the Harkonnens, only 24 of 55 for the Ekaz, quite greedy. Likewise, only 26 of 65 for Vernius, though Vernius is at least training. Fighting mechs and fighting engineers coming online. He's also picked up Kater, the hero that makes your other humans invisible. So the way to play that is Kater stands next to your fight engineers. He doesn't fight himself because you don't want him breaking his stealth, or maybe he does, but you don't want him dying at least. But while he's nearby, his fight engineers are stealthed and they can heal up all the drones around them. And if you don't drop like a probe operation or something, you won't be able to see him and you won't be able to stop the Vernius army from healing. It's a very cool play. No other commanders or heroes online yet that we could see. So we do have some more troops training on the Ekaz side, more troops coming up on the Vernius side. So far so good. Harkonnen army hanging out in the middle. Get out there and be pillaging, my man. Alpha Skitari. You're playing the Harkonnens, you gotta be pillaging. Every second of every day, you need to be pillaging. The only time you're allowed to sit still and think or do something else is if everything around you is pillaged and you've got the benefit of so much free territory. You really could be pillaging all the livelong day, and should be. Do that. It's really critical to your economy. And he's getting out, and he's doing it now, so he's listening to the stream, no doubt. Don't do that. Get off the stream, boys. It's cheating. Ekaz about to get triple sanctuary? Yeah, he might if he picks up this one right here. How are his quirks looking is the question. A little like a bonus for econ buildings over here, so very nice on the spice field. This one, if he picks up this, he could get a huge amount of plascrete from here. You could do plascrete with a plus 20% times 2. And smugglers have gone up and are laying claim to Observatory Mountain before the Ekaz get there. If I were Ekaz, that would be a sore point of contention for me, but there was a much larger smuggler army currently, so you can't really do anything about it for a while. Smugglers are actually 49 of 65. They must have lost someone there somewhere. Maybe a worm got them. Harkonnens pillaging down south. Vernius pillaging in the east. Ekaz just hanging out. Let's check out the resources as well. Ekaz got a good chunk of authority. They might have been waiting to grab it, but the smugglers beat him to it. Might as well grab this red cliff to make your double additional sanctuaries. That'll be useful both economically and as far as further authority generation goes out. Misa Like Pie says, shout out to my main man Asdros for this build. Yep, a inveterate Vernius player, that Asdros. And things are pretty quiet right now. Not as much pillaging as I would like, but again, it's a beginner's lobby, so you get around to it. We got idle units here on the smugglers. These guys should be over here. Or I guess that's pillage, so they should be over here. They should be pillaging that. And we should be burning down this renegade base and then pillaging all these things. You really, if you're the smugglers or the Harkonnens, never a moment should you be resting. You always got to be pillaging or marching somewhere to pillage something else. But so far so good. Everyone looks quite at parity with each other. Smugglers plus 17. Do we have craft workshops on the line? He does. Oh, I like it. Sanimation looking good. We've got craft workshops coming up here. We've already got the Space and Guild branch here as well. One craft workshop online. Space for at least 2 more to be built. And nobody else has them any yet. Tech-wise, Vernius does not have valuable trinkets yet, so he's not giving it out to anybody. Valuable trinkets online for the smugglers. Ekaz has it queued up at least, and it's not even on Harkonnen radar. Harkonnen looks like they were going more into the econ tree, but they're behind. They got to catch up on the red. They got to catch up on the green. I'm guessing that they're pretty light on knowledge because they look technologically behind. 17's not terrible. It's better than the Ekaz. If anything, I think the Harkonnens are probably hurting out because they're the only one not at peace with Vernius. So Vernius are handing over their whole tech tree both to the smugglers and to the Ekaz. And by the Harkonnens not having peace with them, they're missing out on a lot of free technology early on in the game here. We got a big Vernius force here. They might want to fight Harkonnens over this. The Harkonnens are chilling out here, but not with their whole army. They're a little spread out. We got a big Harkonnen force to the west doing some annexing. That's fine. I like the Harkonnen force being split. And I certainly would not expect aggression from the Vernius. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. Landsrad's online yet again. Gear regulations for a single faction. Diplomatic Congress for truces. I think the Harkonnens would probably benefit most from this by maybe even forcing Vernius into a truce with them. Though they don't know that yet. Tax negotiations is just a tax rebate, really. So that's good for everybody. Welcome, people filtering in on chat. Dreadlord Dome DS, welcome to the party. Kind of surprised smugglers aren't pillaging on more smooches onto Vern. Yeah, I mean, so Sanimation actually asked me for some advice, and I said that there's a couple ways to play smugglers. You know, in my opinion, I'm not a master, but I've seen the smugglers played an awful lot. And you know, one play style I offered to him and said one thing you could do is you've got Stakhanov, and if you've got a good map position, you can just Stakhanov, grab those special regions and start cooking spice very early on, and it makes it really, really hard for people to deal with. And it looks like that's what he has embraced this time around. Gear regs go on the Harkonnens, courtesy of Vernius. Ekaz get peace with everybody. That at least pieces between them and the Harkonnens, though I don't think that matters too much. And tax negotiations for Ekaz as well, for cheaper upkeep for them. Very nice for the Ekaz. They're way ahead in Landsrat standing, 348. 60 points or so ahead of their closest rival, which is the Harkonnens. We could see some Ekaz political play. Oh, and we've got conflict. Vernius indeed has gone in and picked down the Harkonnens. Harkonnens should not fight this. You should run, save the lives of these soldiers up here, because there is zero chance of them getting anything done against a full stack of ECAS here. The Harkonnen army's flying in and landing behind. I kind of like the placement if that was intentional, because it does put them right into the juicy railguns. However, the ECAS engineer, or not the ECAS, the Vernius engineers are already online, and we can see they're doing a bang-up job of keeping the purple units very healthy here. Very, very healthy. Harkonnens are not going to get anything for their trouble. It looks like a full wipe with no casualties. Vernius, also sensible, saw the worm coming in and was able to move their units in off of the open sand. Harkonnen army gets cleaned up, down to 0 units. Meanwhile, no losses whatsoever for Vernius. Ooh, devastating, devastating. That's always a danger. If half of your army gets cut out, and then the other half flies in, you're sort of fighting 2 shitty 1v1s. Rather than one good 1v1, and we see the results of it. No casualties whatsoever for the Vernius force. Also, the strategy that he's using of his fight engineers being invisible here, you really need to counter it, and it's hard to do if you're not aware of it, right? If you're the Harkonnens, you need to prep a probe setup. Probe setup lets you see infiltrated units, so you get in a fight with Vernius, you drop the probe setup on them, then you murder their fight engineers, and that stops their whole army from healing constantly. And then from there you murder the rest of their army. But with the constant heal, they can burn through a lot. This is getting annexed by Vernius there. And doesn't look like the smugglers are coming to pick on the Harkonnens or anything, though they certainly could if they wanted to. Poor Harks got beaten pretty badly there. The only good news is that was a sort of a far-flung territory for them, so Vernius can't really even get into the Harkonnen cookie jar any further than that. But it does always suck to lose a spice field, and your whole army as well. Let's check the manpower real quick. Decent manpower stockpiles, 26 a day is actually the highest in the lobby, so the Harkonnens ought to be able to rebuild their armies, and they are working on it, though noticeably no training center online, no parallel training researched yet, so he only has 2 recruitment slots. That was also another reason that he lost that fight pretty badly, is because he's on max 45 command points, whereas Vernius 65 of 65, a full stack. No way do 45 ever scratch the paint on a 65 army, so you got to be real careful with those engagements if you are behind on your military tech. And you could expect that Vernius would not be behind on tech as well. But those are all sort of advanced things to keep in your mind. You know, when you're a Harkonnen, you see red, you get in a fight, rah, you take some combat drugs, and see what happens in the aftermath. Aftermath not so good right now. Harkonnens back west, annexing. Vernius marching back up north. They've gotten their prize, a spice field, already harvesting it with a 4-stack drone, so looking good. Do we think we'll get an update when Dune Awakening drops as the same publisher? No, I don't think we will, though I would love for that to happen. maybe our spice overlords are saving all of their new content drops and new patches for other Dune stuff coming online. It would be a little bit silly, I think, maybe to drop new content just as something else big in the Dune universe comes out, because honestly, a lot of the folks that I know who love Dune are going to be playing some Dune Awakening, whether or not we've got, -1 CP for this unit, and unless it was a big contract drop, like a new faction or something. I don't see it coming. Although we never see. Shiro always surprises us with this. Vern seems much more capable. Yep. Some chats talking about Vernius being in a really good position. I mean, Vernius is overextended, but he's done so in a very quick and reasonable way that nobody can really punish him for it yet. Give it another 2 months or so, and it'll be very easy for ECAS and smugglers and Harkonnens all to knock on Vernius doors simultaneously. But for now, he's looking very solid. So what do you do with that? Well, you got to turn it into some hegemony, and it looks like he does. Craft workshops are online, and boom, immediately, craft workshop, Craft Workshop, and Craft Workshop. All four right away. Love it. It's under... He's taken full advantage of his territory advantage. Plus 40 daily. Very, very nice. 30 daily on the smugglers, which is also quite good, but I feel like he's missing something. He has one there. He has one there. Okay, he just hasn't annexed the Acid Lakes behind him yet, which is what he's missing. Otherwise, he could have a bit more online. Also, I would expect that to be a little higher. You got to make sure he's getting the Underworld headquarters out and about. Though his authority is low, so I guess he's probably using it. Probably. Money-wise, people look very similar. Chome-wise, also very similar. ECAS at 11%, 13% for the Harkonnens. Harkonnens have climbed back into the lead. But the Choming's going rather slow. We're almost into month 5 here, so I don't expect to see a Chome victory. It looks like we are barreling full speed ahead into a Hegemony victory. And Hegemony often... The way that it stops from being barreling full speed ahead is if Vernius doesn't like the way the craft shops look and decides to obfuscate them. But if House Vernius is sitting on the most craft shops, then we can imagine that we're gonna head to a swift resolution to the game, as it were. Vernius will feel comfortable to use their obfuscate on something else. What kind of game is Dune Awakening? Yeah, Dune Awakening is an MMO survival game or something. There's been more videos coming out of it lately. I sort of grabbed it just because it's a Dune game, and I like Dune stuff. Some of the Spice Wars buddies are going to be playing with it, so I figured I'd roll along as well. We're going to take our guild Donkey Force 7 and see what we can do in the Landsrad there. But yeah, it's an MMO game, and I know MMOs have been sort of a rocky genre for some time now. But... it looks really good. You should check it out. Dune Awakening. It looks like a lot of fun. And if you want to, you could jump into our Dune Circuit Discord. You could join Donkey Force 7 and come out to Arrakis with us. Come along. Another Landsrad out. Chome contracts, not that big of a deal. Imperial Audit pays out Landsrad standing. That would be nice for most everybody. I feel like ECAS was higher than 322, but maybe I'm imagining things. Labor rights. Probably doesn't matter because people are doing fine economically. I think these are pretty unexciting Landsrad options. Labor rights does pass with ECAS and Harkonnens both voting for it. Love the Spice Wars. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jolden. Should pester Turin into doing stream together. Yeah, Turin was looking for stuff to do today, and I was like... I almost offered that he could come co-stream with me, but he doesn't like co-streams. He likes to be the only man on the mic usually. But I've been, if you like Turin's streams, I've been playing with Turin a lot. All of his Dawn of War games lately, I've been playing with him. I usually, if he ends up doing any Company of Heroes, I play those with him as well. So if you like some extra Deva content, you can often find it on the Turin channel. The only thing I don't do really is Total War, which is his main thing. But all of his off games that he covers, I also play along, and often with him as well. So it's a good time. We love Turin around here. Pretty chill so far in Arrakis. Vernius did head a little further west, and if ECAS wants to grab this sandfall, they better get up there and do it. Just freed. This village has been liberated. Oh. Did it get liberated? It does have buildings on it. Wholesale market and processing plant. Did it get liberated by... Not a player, I don't think, because they're not at war. It must have gotten liberated by raiders or something when we weren't watching. Huh. Yeah, Captain Lanky says, oh shit, you're casting the beginner's tourney, my bad. Yeah, get out of here, Captain Lanky. I'm busy. You can blame Captain Lanky for all the Discord beeps in the background. The Dawn of War games have been a lot of fun. I've been having so much fun with the Dawn of War games. Yes, I really, really have enjoyed the Elite mod. Dawn of War 2 Elite mod has been just like, I thought it would be kind of like a fun thing, like it'd be neat to try out. And I started playing it, I'm like, oh my god, it works so perfectly, and the game holds up so well. So if you're into some of that nostalgia, Dawn of War 2, the Elite mod, so much fun to play. Really, really love it. New factions. It's mostly a multiplayer thing, but careful balancing. It's been so much fun to play. I play it even by myself, even just against the AI, just like trying out new units and new upgrades and things and seeing what they do. Harkonnens just pillaging down south. Vernius just pillaging. Haven't opted to grab the Acid Lakes yet. Still just sitting back there. Ikaz also mostly chilling out. They've got all their sanctuaries online. Though I want them to put an emphasis on getting this village, Sandfall, because I suspect that Misa Like Pie might put an emphasis on it. It's going to become targetable by an attack in 0.2 days, and we've got a big Vernius army right next to it. I think they're going to snatch it out of the Ikaz's hands. Yeah, regarding Dawn of War, I am tentatively excited about the Dawn of War 1 remaster. I would have hoped for more. I also had my heart set on like a Dawn of War 4, even a Dawn of War 2, like a little bit of a remaster would be fun because I feel like it would just drive more people to play in that Elite mod that I love so much. But there it is, Vernius gonna snatch Sandfall, which suddenly became online. Ikaz is not in place to take it. In fact, Ikaz is maybe sleeping on the job here. The army looks mighty small, 40 command points of 55. What's going on for our boy Doss here? He just does not have his command center up yet. He's still working through his buildings. Maybe over-invested a little bit early on in the Chome market. He doesn't really need 11% Chome. It's not that important. It would have been more important to maybe turn those resources into more Plascrete and more money to get your main base buildings online. You really want your main base built out much faster if at all possible. If we look at foliage, there's barely 4 buildings up. We've got 6, 7 buildings up in Siege Tuic. The Carthage down here has 6, 7, 8, almost 9 buildings up. And we have 7, almost 9 buildings up in the Vernius main base as well. So with only 4, almost 5 starting now, you're way behind in your main base districts for Ikaz, and you certainly want to put a little more emphasis on that because they are very important and impactful, though expensive. So if you're not planning around it, it can be tough to come up with the Plascrete and the money to do so. Vernius flies way down south. Harkonnens have grabbed the Great Volcano, but there is a punishing force coming in. We got 59 Harkonnen command points, which is pretty close to fully stack, but we do have the full 65 stack, and the Harks want to fight for it. I think this is a bad idea, but I like that it's happening. Vernius coming in, Harks going in. We've got the healing going down. Combat drugs come out. EMP bomb comes down. All right. Harks have been preparing for this. EMP is very solid, but trouble is, I think they're still gonna struggle with the fight engineers here. There's just too much healing going out. Fight engineer repair stations are down, and indeed, there's just not enough stuff dying for Vernius. The Harkonnens are losing. They're getting some kills here. Vernius very quick to rebuild, actually. As soon as he loses a unit, he's rebuilding. I like it. Misa Like Pie playing very well. Harkonnen's a little too greedy there. He does manage to evac Raban, which is very solid play. You see you're losing, you get your actual high value unit out, your hero. You don't want to lose him. And the executioners you can leave behind to die. So I think that's going to be some punishment from Vernius. Though it looks like they ran out of supply and they had to run all of their human units back to their territory, and they were only left to leave their mechanical units behind. The mechanical units will be enough. Do we have reinforcements coming for the Harkonnens? Slowly. They're rebuilding. Vernius was much quicker on the rebuilding draw, so he's going to have a full stack right away. Smugglers have started to... I probably would not have even grabbed this spice field again, because it takes away your Stakhanov bonus on your special region down there, but it's fine. The Random Dawn of War remaster gives them hope that they're still thinking about the franchise. It's true. I've heard people say that a remaster of Dawn of War 1 almost guarantees a launch of Dawn of War 4 at some point. Which, I don't know if I follow the tortured logic there that closely, but maybe. I do appreciate that they're keeping an eye on it. I'm a huge Dawn of War fan. I love it. I played 1, I played 2. Forgive me, but I played 3 and maybe even enjoyed certain aspects of it. But I would be hella hyped for Dawn of War 4, even though I've been hurt in the past. Landsrad's up. Investigations, no big deal. Controlled markets is kind of interesting, but I don't think anyone's particularly hurting on money, so it'd just be sort of an annoyance at this point in time. Military investigation, that would actually maybe... Hark's got what they needed. It's really ECAS who's the one who's behind now in their tech. ECAS should not be... Okay, that was probably... They probably got that from a point of interest. ECAS finally picking up political or valuable trinkets. Also political art, so maybe they're looking at the words have escaped me. Maybe they're looking at some political Landsrad voting play by picking up political art. This is the option that makes it so you can't claim charters away from them after they have them. But you really need to get military propaganda. In fact, you should have had this 2 or 3 months ago, because the plus 10 command points and potentially plus more authority production, but mostly the 10 command points, is so critical it can't even be put into words. They're fine, because nobody has been beating them up yet. And Vernius going for the annex over on the Great Volcano. Harkonnens, it's still a pretty chunky Vernius force here. Harkonnens, you know, the famous masters of attritional warfare, but they're just not attriting the Vernius force very well. Big, huge manpower stocks on Harkonnens, though, plus 45 a day basically means you could just bash your head into them constantly. And you also have Uman Kudu. Units take 30% less time to recruit. They opted for Pitter, which is their more operation-minded one. And he does have a probe setup ready now. He's got the full Monty probe setup, combat drugs, sleeper agent, EMP bomb. All right, and it looks like Vernius is maybe falling back, maybe coincidentally, or maybe on purpose. But the Harkonnen army is coming in. I know there's a lot of beeping going on in the background. I'm sorry, boys. Let me try to minimize what's the noise coming out of my Discord client here. There. That ought to have stopped the beeping. I'm sorry about that. Harkonnens managed to protect their lands. We got a big old stack here. 65 of 65. They've rebuilt very quickly, which is what the Harkonnen army is good at. We've got a big stack of smugglers as well, and they have the Wraith online. Very, very important for the smuggler army. And they're marching around. Are they actually going into Vernius lands? They might be thinking about it. Smugglers, everybody is at war with Vernius. Okay, so now is the lobby turning on them like we saw it. Vernius comes back to take this engagement. We got a solid smuggler force. Make sure you get your Wraith over there. An EMP goes down. Looks like some pretty good damage on the smuggler forces, but they're trading okay. We're actually, with the Free Company are going down fast, but the railgun drones are getting picked off as well. Even now, that's one of the benefits of the smuggler army, and it looks like he doesn't like it. Is he pulling back, or is he just... Yep, he's pulling back. He's not that confident, but he's trading just fine. The benefit of the smuggler army is the snipers, large sniper forces, allow them to focus fire so well. Oh, the Wraith is getting targeted down, and it's actually going to die here. And he sees that too late and goes back in. Losing the Wraith sucks. Oh, and he's a little tight on supply. He's opting to fall back, but he might even have been able to take that fight if he had supply, but he does not have supplies. Run for your life. Run for your life. Get back to the safety of your lands, because you're all going to get very thirsty. Harkonnens took that opportunity to run and jump on the Vernius lands, but look how beaten this force is. Looks like they only just barely managed to fight their way through the defenses. Vernius army a bit beleaguered, but is working on a rebuild here. Actually not too bad. 63, still the largest army in the game. ECAS army is dead. I didn't even see what happened to the ECAS army. Did they die fighting Vernius? All these militia are dead. Did the Vernius militia defeat the small ECAS army? That is my guess. Vernius jumping in on the Harkonnens, and the Harkonnen force is already so weakened, I think they're in big trouble here. Raban ought to run. If they're lucky, they might get a couple kills here. He did drop the probe, though. So, Smart Boy is finally starting, and he's focusing down the fight engineers. I love to see it. He just didn't have enough to work with this time around. His army was maybe 10 command points short, and a lot of guys were relatively low on HP here. So Vernius manages to clean him up. Some casualties inflicted as well, but Vernius, again, very quick on training new units. Now, the question is, how's the Vernius bank? And it's quite good, almost 10k. We have to remember that everybody else in the game is rebuilding their armies with manpower. Vernius, if they want to rebuild their armies, are almost entirely Solari powered. All the drones cost cash money to rebuild. It had to be a loss to the defense. I think the ECAS had a small army here. They weren't properly built up, only maybe 40-something command points, and they tried to go in, and this double turret with six militia in it, and then maybe also you have the adjacent turret up here shooting at them as well. I think they managed to kill the ECAS army with just the natural defenses. Vernius getting aggressive, marching down towards Harkonnen lands. How are the Harks doing? Rebuilding. You got to rebuild a little faster than that. Are you guys actually low on manpower? No. You have almost 600 manpower, Harkonnens. Not enough manpower for ECAS. 12 daily, way too low. ECAS, you need way more manpower. You want like 20 plus, at least 30 plus is like the comfort zone of some actual end game fighting, being able to replenish your losses. Vernius notably stronger than the rest of the pod. I agree. Vernius looking very powerful right now. Has been making pretty good decisions. Goes in. He's annexing deep in Harkonnen lands. This is a nothing territory. This doesn't get him anything, but it gives him a point of resupply so he could beat the Harkonnens up. And beat him up he is. He's going deep into Harkonnen lands. Not even taking the special region, just fighting. He's fighting a Harkonnen spice region. The Harkonnens still have the Great Volcano up here. If we take a quick look at the Cho market, not a lot has changed. 14% Harkonnens, 10% ECAS, 7 Smugglers, 3 Vernius. Landsrad, Imperial Intelligent, infiltration cells must be out and about. We could take a look and see who's infiltrating who. No levels up on anyone right now for Vernius. Nobody for Smugglers. ECAS actually has level 1 on Harkonnens, funny enough. And Harkonnens have 2 agents on Vernius. If you can't beat them, stab them. Yep. Turrets in that staging region could be nuts. Yeah, it's a good point that this region here is actually sort of a linchpin for a bunker in the area. If you took this from the Harkonnens, you could have turrets here that guard each other. You could, and this staging region here also could have turrets that guard the special region. It'd really be a pain in the Harkonnen side if Vernius is able to grab all this. And he's trying to. We'll see what he opts to do with this region. Going for a liberate here. I'm assuming he's a little light on the authority. No, he's sitting on 350. He could annex that too if he really wanted to. Smugglers rebuilding. Vernius will be in a little bit. Vernius headed up north. He's going for a liberate. Now he's attacking the special regions. Very aggressive play. He's fortunate that our poor ECAS brothers up north are struggling a bit. If ECAS was rocking a full stack, he could be marching through, causing a great deal of grief for Vernius. And our smuggler friend, who has grabbed his acid lakes in the back finally, cooking a decent 43 a day, but 64 a day on Vernius. Vernius looking super strong. Harkonnens going in to try and pick off some stragglers. Smugglers marching on the middle yet again. There are 6 militia here, though, which is quite a bit. And you do have a missile battery and the turret from the neural node. The folder relays all the way back home. And the force is a little disorganized. He doesn't have enough melee up front. He didn't like what he saw. He's going back home. He might not have enough supply. Maybe he was realizing that. Indeed, supply drop just now started. I'm thinking he marched over there, started poking, and realized he was going to run out of water again. Had to walk home, wait for his supply drop to come online. Some Vernius went home, not all of them. Vernius still out here causing trouble for the Harkonnens. Harkonnens went in too soon there. They were trying to maybe pick off a guy here, but ended up just losing a bunch of their troops before they could really hit a proper critical mass. Oh, here it is. Vernius is was in the lead here, so they have opted to obfuscate parallel training. That means everybody else in the lobby -2 training slots. -2 training slots, and no military academy building in your siege. Oh, that's devastating. The military academy gives you extra training slots, so everybody in the lobby is stuck with only 2 slots to train soldiers, and nobody's got a full stack, so it's gonna take forever to get your armies back online. Oh, I haven't seen it very often, but I've heard tale of the Vernius parallel training obfuscation. Rarely do you see a dominant Vernius military that is able to really make good use of that. Sometimes you see it if they're trying to hold a really tough 3v1 at the end of the game, they might do that. The Liberate goes down here, the Annex going down on the Great Volcano, and it's gonna be tough for the lobby to contest this. We still don't have a triple red up yet for the ECAS. The ECAS at least have their military academy up on martial perfectionism and not on logistical flourish. Although losing logistical flourish causes them their command posts, so they get 10 less command points than everyone else, which is also pretty bad. Oh my. It's gonna be fighty, and it's gonna be tough to be fighty because it's gonna be hard for the rest of the lobby needs a lot of time to build back up. We see the Harkonnens now ever so slowly, even with 30% faster training speed, they're only back up to 21 command points. We've got a full stack of smugglers, but the smugglers are hesitant to engage. And rightfully so. The ECAS have been pretty scary. I think the smugglers are the only chance to really put some serious losses. I might have called him ECAS a bunch. I mean Vernius when I'm talking about him here. 24,000 hegemony for Vernius. Vernius basically going full speed ahead, month 6, aiming for the hedge victory. Now they're gonna have to hold for some time here. Vernius 356 on the authority. That's quite good actually, although stuff's starting to get expensive. This one is 172 back home. A couple of these things have been pillaged that need to fall off in 10 days. That would make him about 170-ish. So he'll have some options in his backfield for some back capping if he needs a final push. And it looks like if everyone's going to leave him alone, he's going to come down and bully the Harkonnens more. Harkonnens in a really rough spot, not being able to turn their manpower into armies. Sitting at, now 52 manpower is way too much because you can't possibly turn that much manpower into soldiers again. They're doing a little bit of pillaging, marching out. I think he's just getting antsy. He's just frustrated with the timing it's take to do things. So he's marching out, but this is a mistake. You need to wait till you've got the full stack again. You're gonna have a Vernius army land right on top of your heads and wipe out these 5 or 6 units. They don't even need to land because we do have that bunker that we were discussing. The turret up top, double turrets in the middle. The Vernius automated militia are going to be able to fight off this small Harkonnen force. And indeed the Vernius come in as well. So this is a common mistake we see with newer players, is committing to fights. Shai-Hulud was thinking about it. Nope, the Vernius is safe. A common mistake we see with the beginner players. We do have smugglers coming in. Smugglers want to fight for it. I like to see it. Let's get some action going. The common mistake, once again, is committing with not a full-size force. And not enough of the Vernius land at once. And is he going to get him? Oh, Kater dies immediately. Big blunder from Vernius, getting their hero sniped out. Smugglers falling back. They don't like the cut of this jib here. Now they're fighting. I think they could. Okay, a little bit of scoot and shoot here, picking up some Vernius troops, and indeed some of the raiders come out and help this fight as well. Yeah, turn around and fight, smugglers. You've got your supply drop, right? You do. You've got your supply drop. Go fight them. Go fight them. You're doing fine. You were doing just fine there. Sanimation, I guess he was down to 40-some command points, and that would have been pretty close to what Vernius had, though. Vernius was just quicker at making new units, but with 12 snipers, just keep plinking on stuff. I feel like 12 snipers can really one-shot a Vernius unit every couple seconds there. I think you would have been in a really good spot. You would have had more casualties, but just the attrition of the Vernius forces is a good enough thing to do as well. Because Vernius is also restricted in how many units they can train as well. Everybody's military training academies are turned off, not just their rivals. Landsrad. Kater instantly deleted bros, got like 600 hit points. Yeah, Kater really does not want to be shot by snipers. Snipers do huge amounts of burst damage. A sniper is 24 power, but only 3 attack speed. But they also have ignore half of enemy armor. They've got barrel cleaner at full health. The first attack is 100% more power. They've also got propelling ammo, which is up to 5 more power at long range, and they're almost always at long range. So they have sort of a slow attack that is a really high amount of a really high hit that it basically ignores the target's armor. Snipers are very fun. Super squishy though, you know, 300 hit points, no armor. So if something gets on snipers, they could kill them, but nothing kills quite like snipers can at long range. Is this an annex going down? I can't even tell. Yes. Vernius coming out here, annexing this spot. Fremen agent, not much in the way of the siege there. Go get him. We got Landsrad Punishers picked up. Eye of the Council went the way of the ECAS. Landsrad Punishers for the smugglers. Water regulations does not pass. They probably would have been better off making water regulations pass, because it really would have hurt Vernius, actually. Vernius gets their cap off, has 2,700 hegemony. We're going to need some activity out of the rest of the folks here. ECAS, we're looking at you. Harkonnens, unfortunately, with that poor engagement, are stuck in unit training hell. They just don't have enough guys up, and indeed they're not even training right now. They're busy typing with the smugglers. House Harkonnens accepted a trade from House ECAS. People are actually trading with each other. Smugglers and ECAS are talking, so the lobby is clearly aware of the... Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I looked over here and I saw only 2 units. I was like, oh god, did they get worm struck? But no, they've all gone north for some reason. Maybe fighting off, probably raiders. Probably just fighting off raiders. But the smugglers, it's getting a little more dire. It's getting a little more dire here. 14 more days on a spice tax. Vernius still sitting on 388 authority. ECAS maxed out on authority. Harkonnens maxed out on authority. Just take some territory, guys. Preferably Vernius territory. ECAS look like they're gonna try it, though they're only at 43 command points. That is not enough. The last great hope against the machines are the smugglers, once again going in, picking off the missile turret right away. Unfortunately, it's a bad engagement. Oh, we've got more missile turrets going up on the border as Vernius turns this extra village into additional defensive structures as well around the middle. Oh, it's going to be really tough. Harkonnens advancing in the south, ECAS advancing in the north. Hopefully those smaller forces are able to overcome the militia, because if not, it's going to be trouble. The smart play here is the smugglers are doing it well, actually. Just kind of poke at them. You don't need to necessarily engage for the full apocalyptic battle. Even if you could win and trade into them properly, just keeping Vernius busy, just keeping their main army here with you is a win. That's a victory, because up north, I think ECAS is going to win that. Down south, no, the Harkonnens are not winning that one. Oh no, it's a distraction. Vernius opting to give up on the middle for now, headed north to stomp on the ECAS rats, whom they can just blow away with no trouble whatsoever, because there are only about 3 or 4 units left alive here. Nobody's been able to marshal a full force. The obfuscation of parallel training has just been devastating to the militaries around the world. Alright, smugglers have the Polar Sink under control. They've blown away all the missile turrets around it. They've got quite a decent force here. Only 45 command points, actually, so that's Not ideal. We do have 65 command points for Vernius. There's no... I don't know. We do have a bunch of Landsrad Punishers who don't count in the command point limit. Maybe they could help. Vernius goes in. EMP goes down. And we've got a big stack of smugglers here. Trying to do a little scoot and shoots. Scoot and shoot is the right play. It pulls some of the drones outside of their repair radius back here. You can see all the fight engineers are back here. Now you should fight. Turn around and fight. Shoot them now, because you're in a good spot to fight, smugglers. You could do it, Sanimation. Now's your chance. Because all of his repairs are pulled out of line. You could have traded really well with those frontline troops there. I think he's not quite confident enough in the strength of his army there. He's too afraid of getting wiped out. And it would be pretty bad to get wiped out, but I think we're already in the 11th hour here. Ekaz properly wiped. Harkonnens didn't hear no bell, but they're about to lose again to the militia, unfortunately. Just not a strong enough force, and the Vernius defenses are really, really sound. Misa-like Pi has been very good. Again, we see forward defenses, missile turrets coming back up, missile batteries coming back online. Misa's been very good about using defensive terrain and structures in order to fight people off here. Ekaz has struggled to do anything up north against the Vernius defenses, and then the bunker that we talked about they set up with that forward base down south has completely stifled the Harkonnens' attempts at eastward expansion. We have a spice tax in 3 days with a full stockpile, so no danger of missing it. Spice tax is going to put them up at 29.5 or so. And then with an 62 a day, you've got, I don't know, 8 days, 7 days or so that they'll need to hang out. I think it is a guaranteed Vernius victory, and he's even got the authority. He could march over and just annex one more region somewhere to speed things along. Did he lose guys there? Did he get wormstruck maybe? Or did they just fly elsewhere? He might have lost some guys there. He's got a couple in being rebuilt, and he's down to only 50 command points. Smugglers needed to engage, and they're being too cautious here. They were doing pretty good, and they're worried about being pillaged up north, but actually, you let this happen, because a pillage is no big deal. A pillage just means you lose a bit of money. They're not liberating it, and it is an existential threat to have Vernius hold on to their territory for any bit longer at all. Hark's not able to beat the militia. He's got infinite authority. He needs to cap next to the asphalt. Oh yeah. Vernius can cap anywhere he wants and win right now. He's done. A little bit of the Vernius army got worn, but he's a-okay. Unfortunately, the Hark push collapsed down south. If they had been able to win it, they might have been able to pull the territory off. But honestly, even if Vernius loses the territory that the Harkonnens were in, they're still in a winning position within the next 6 days here. Speaker of the Council would be nice. Gear regs is no big deal. Lots of people have opted for the 3 blues, but very little political power is going to come into this game at all. We've got the gear regs in House Vernius, but it is too little too late. Speaker of the Council for the Smugglers, 29.7k hegemony. Oh, and there it is. Vernius manages the quick cap. A very solid, resounding victory for Misa-like Pi. And looked great. He did really, really well, played very solidly into it. It was fortunate that DOS up top really struggled to get going, especially militarily. And once he started going, parallel training got obfuscated, and he never quite was able to figure out how to deal with that. Wasn't able to max out an army and punish any of that northern expansion. Down south, Skitari did pretty decent fighting there. I disagree with some of his engagements. He would have been better served by being a little more cautious to build up to a full stack. Since he was fighting such a full stack of a Vernius army, he needed his own full stack to be able to compete with that. Developments and knowledge, obviously very Vernius favored. Vernius peaked at 85, which is pretty decent, pretty solid. Solari production even was pretty Vernius favored for the most part. Vernius also sitting on stocks. Now this is to be expected. As a Vernius player, you do want to sit on big stocks of Solari because, again, it is the lifeblood of your military. If Vernius gets wiped, he's got to pay the cash money to buy all those drones back. So you sit on big stocks of Solari. That makes sense to me. Chom never really got off the ground. We peaked at like 16% for the Harkonnens, but then they started getting into combat, Mortal Kombat, and weren't able to really turn that money oppression machine on. Even though they had a lot of spice under their belt, things just sort of escalated to combat before they could really do much with it. Hegemony, just a nice quick rise for Vernius. Vernius was very aggressive with their expansion and had the military to back it up with. Politics, again, ECAS was doing well, but the game was over too quickly for them to really turn it in. I mean, we're halfway into month 7, a very, very fast game. Good Lord. How long did that take? An hour 40. We've been streaming only for an hour 20. Yeah, pretty crazy. Because they're playing at 1.5 speed, the game time takes longer than real life time. Intel production, pretty low for most folks. And command points. Command points really tell the tale of the whole game. Vernius gets out to the early command point lead. Right here we can see they crush the Harkonnen army because there's a massive mismatch in command points. Vernius loses nothing. Harkonnens all die. Harkonnens build back up, but not all the way up. They kill a couple Vernius guys, but still lose most of their army. Smugglers go in, kill some Vernius guys. He was super good in mid-combat. He'd lose a guy and he'd start making another guy immediately. Look, a guy dies, he starts making a guy. A guy dies, he starts making a guy. He was really, really solid with that, where a lot of people would lose all their troops and then start making more troops kind of thing. But, you know, you're in the midst of the battle, so you're trying to pay attention to the micro. It makes sense, but it was an impressive play. Poor ECAS here peaked at 50-something command points, got wiped out, and just never were able to climb back up. You really, really, really don't want to be getting into combat engagements without a maxed out full-size army. It's what is it? It's like Lancaster's law or something. It's like there's like an equation that basically talks about how many men you lose in a battle. And the more men you bring to a battle, the less men you will lose in that battle, right? So if they've got 50% more men than you, it's not that they kill 50% more of you. They lose like nothing, and you lose everything. Mismatches in firepower and the size of your army over a long battle get extrapolated, and so you just don't, rule of thumb, don't get in a fight unless you got a full stack. Whew. Vernius, very solid military victory. Congrats to Misa Legpie. Very, very impressive play. And ooh, we're done a lot earlier than I thought we'd be, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we got time for a game of our own. Should we? Dare we? Can we? Let me jump into, pop that Discord back open and congratulate the lads. The law of the snowball, indeed. One moment, everybody. I think we might be able to get our own game going today. Maybe a Davok game for you. Why do people take Kater in competitive? Well, they take him for exactly what he was doing there. So Kater, not for his own personal military might, but for his ability to make the fight engineers invisible when he's near them. So the fight engineers can passively heal up the army while not being focus fired down. Alright, GG everybody, well played. Let me just do a little bit of work in the Discord and then we'll start up our own game. Let's create a lobby. I figured we would only have time for that game, but it was so fast. We could squeeze in one more. We could squeeze in one more game, right? Alright, chat, if you would like to play with me, here is a code Otherwise, I will advertise in the old Discords, and we'll see if other folks want to play. Who do you guys want to see faction counselor wise? I mean, in terms of like new content being added to the game, we want to see anything. We've been in a content drought. I think Vernius came out maybe March of last year, something around there. So we're roughly sort of a year without any new content and no word from them whatsoever. We got some patches around the end of 2024. So stuff's still getting patched, and the game's actually in a great spot right now. But yeah, we anything. There's been people have talked about the Tlalaxu, maybe some face dancers, maybe some other stuff. There's a lot of places you could go in the Dune universe, especially if you're getting a little loosey-goosey with the lore, as we obviously are with Vernius and Ekaz already on Arrakis. So yeah, just give us anything, and we'll be happy. Looking for a game. All right, just dropping out some join codes to the Discord if anyone wants to come play. You can kind of do a standoff with cloaked units too, like stand just outside the border of the region you're fighting in so you don't get spotted. Yeah, good players can counter Kater pretty well because you know the other person has Kater, so you always have a probe setup prepped if you have any expectation of fighting Vernius. It's kind of sucks to keep a probe set up in one of your operation slots, but it's a fairly simple counter, and then you drop your probe setup, then you murder the fight engineers, and then you fight the Vernius army as normal, and Kater's not doing a whole lot, so I feel like he's not the way that I like to play. The other lady I like a little bit more, but she also does get sniped out, and her fight engineers get sniped out at the start of fights very commonly as well. Sort of depends on who you're playing against. Misa like pie. He hasn't had enough. He wants some more. He's gonna take his Vernius back and show me what's what. But I will wait till I have a full army before I fight him. A faction that makes or uses or interacts with renegade bases could be neat. Oh, I kind of like that idea. That's cool. Ekaz musket power. Yeah, unfortunately, DOS never quite got going. I'm a big Ekaz enjoyer in my heart. I love a fully erect stack of Ekaz knights and squires and musketeers. But the poor Purple Vernius gave him the business that game around. Gave him the dirty business. Thanks for joining, folks. That was a fun one. It was. It didn't beleaguer the point. We got right into it. I want to see who's who, says Misa like bye. All right, we'll play the Fremen, and we'll go base kill the Vernius just right off the bat. Just straight into him, burn him down. Just teach him a little bit of humility. No, I wouldn't do that to you. I appreciate that. It was a good play, Misa. Good play. Ekaz really struggles these days. I love them thematically. I feel like the Ekaz struggle is a bit overblown, but yeah, they're probably, if I was making a power ranking, it's probably Ekaz at the bottom, but not in dire straits. They're very playable still. I'd like to see them do more with Paul. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Paul. Paul, unfortunately, I like Paul, but he can be hit or miss because he requires you to run into, have really fortunate sieges to ally. If you ally 2 sieges with Paul, you get 2 + 4 authority, which is huge. If you ally 3 sieges, you get 6 authority, which is outrageous. But you almost don't even need that much authority. So maybe something other than just allying sieges with Paul would be a neat option. Misa says he's trained under Cream and Azdros a lot. Very, very dangerous spicers, those. It shows, Misa. You did a great job that game. Really showed some strong capabilities with your faction and took advantage of your lobby being a little slow to expand to some of their spots, and then you yoinked them out from underneath them. Free lactose intolerance. All right, we got ourselves a lobby here, folks. I will opt for random. You folks are welcome to play whatever you would like. Spectators are turned on if you want to come and jump into the game and watch alongside us. I don't mind. Allow joining mid-game is on. Maybe we should do something weird. Let's do something weird. Map type Dune medium. Let's do the Erg. We're gonna do it weird, folks. Gonna do the Great Erg to make it weird. The Great Erg, a medium map with many small, deep deserts and mountains for increased strategic expansion. The dreaded random, yes. Yes. You don't have to random. You don't have to. If you want to, you're welcome to. You don't have to random. Be happy. But ready up. But ready up. We got daylight's burning, folks. Everyone off stream, right? Yeah, get out of here. Get off the stream. We got one ready. Marvel's almost ready. What good lads. Everybody's opting for random. We're going to play the Great Erg, which ought to be weird. And we'll see what we got here. We'll play ourselves. We'll play a little weird Dune game. Marvel has opted to go back to Carino. That's fine. Totally fine. No shame. A lot of folks do not know all factions to a playable level. Go, go, go. You're good, Marvel. I'm no use with ECAS. Yeah, that's fine. Dave, can you do a video about early game aggression? How to do it, how to defend against it? Oof. Aggressions are hard videos to make. That's the reason you don't have them, because it's so conditional. It's so dependent on who you are, who your neighbor is, what the map looks like, who you spawn next to, who spawned on your other side. There's just a lot. Oh, we're Fremen. There's just a lot to keep in mind. The long and the short of it is that early game aggression is about who built more manpower buildings early on and who didn't get their army wiped. If you don't get your army wiped, you know, worst case scenario, the enemy might be able to pillage one of your regions and then you can build up and sort of keep them from doing any more. If you do get wiped out, good luck, have fun, everybody. If you do get wiped out, then that's when things start going bad and bad guys start getting all over everything early on. We are Fremen in the far, far north. We'll see how that goes. Good luck, have fun. Never played this. Misalag Pa has random into the Harkonnens, which he does not know how to play. I love it. It's very funny. Nope, not that region. What region do we want to take? Not that region. Come on, give me a decent region here. All of these are crap. Do we really have crap territory around us? Here. This has got to be something down south. Who did we get? Fucking Shimoom. We got Mother Ramallo and Shimoom. The Prophet Shimoom. Let's go down here and fight for whatever this is. 50% of the Plascrete production SLR. Hopefully this is the minerals. Nope. It's rare elements. Alright, there's not terrible options to work with. We could pick that up. We've started some spice harvesting. We've gotten some thopters, thopting. And once again, we're on the Great Erg, so we expect the map to be weird. Real weird. Time to get super aggressive, super duper aggressive. We'll be reasonably aggressive. Plascrete. I think these other regions we're gonna start with some pillaging right away. This guy is a little bit of water and statecraft. Yeah, we'll just go for early pillaging. That's fine. Do I like these things? I don't know. I don't know what to get with tech-wise with Fremen. I don't play a ton of Fremen. Mostly these days I've been playing more Atreides and Ekaz and a fair bit of Carino. Oh, it's weird not being Stilgar. That kind of like stifles a lot of my early Fremen plans. I don't know what to do with my hands. We've got Harkonnen Thopters already flying over us. Over here we've got a shield wall. Okay. But mostly the territory around us sucks. This guy, there's nothing in here, nothing in here, nothing in here, nothing in here. Like our 4 closest regions are all empty of any sort of like spare resources. It's alright, we'll make the best out of it. This guy wants 1 building of each type. We could be real aggressive on the lobby, maybe. It's entirely likely that these guys have gotten factions that they're not comfortable with. We know Misa's on one he doesn't like. We'll see how free lactose intolerance feels about Vernius. Marvel picked Shaddam, so probably should have some idea of how to play it at least. But we could give him a bit of the old stabby, bit of the old ultra violence. Forget the close regions, migrate and blood feud some poor hapless neighbor for their lands. All right, easy, Dome. We barely even see their area around us yet. We'll start the blood feud when it's appropriate and not before. We are going to grab this one, put some minerals into play. It also has some lovely bonus intel over here, actually. A little bit of intel we could make a good use of. Let's go ahead and get another harvester online. We got a desert over here, and we're already got it sort of surrounded. Maybe we opt for a quick desert surround. We'll see what this territory looks like around it. Harkonnens over there. Well, oh, and we did have someone popped out of a siege up here, so we got to scan that, but we need espionage first. But we could go pick on Misa. Is there anything good here? Nope. So much of this territory is really crap, guys. It's so bad. We haven't even found another spice field in some time. We'll go pillage there. This guy can go grab a Thopter. And we'll do something like that. Arrakis is our home. There's some more spice to the west. Okay, we can get that spice going. This got pillaged, so we can't exactly grab that deep desert surround yet. There's not much to our east. Peace in our time? I don't know the word. Infiltrators, we do need a bit more manpower. We just don't have any regions. Nothing's been worthwhile enough for us to annex yet. The desert will swallow them. I'm gonna make sure we're not losing anybody to dumb fights. Let's get some more manpower online. We need a probe set up because we think it's up in Sandalus up here. Is that Siege? No, it wouldn't be next to the base. It would have to be next to it. Sieges can't spawn adjacent to your main base, so it must have been up in Gaga. Channeling my inner Paul Jihad energy. Okay, we're the Fremen. We don't have any votes. Everybody else has votes, so we just don't care. That's a pillage there. What's this? Sandfall. Maybe we go grab a Sandfall. It's a 5-wind Sandfall. You grab that and then come home. What are your thoughts about late game Fremen? What should the Fremen player be focusing on that stage when everyone else is getting so strong? Yeah, it's a good question. Late game Fremen do fall off a bit. It's really super important to... nope, don't care. It's really super important to focus on grabbing regions that have can put ceremonial caves in them, because that is what drives the Fremen late game armies. And then you need to have secured yourself enough regions that you can really focus on craft workshopping, I think, or put yourself in a position where you've got neighbors that you're going to be able to still bully a bit more into that end game. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's a tough balancing act, and it's not one that I have mastered either. Do I want the shield wall? Yeah, actually, we can grab the shield wall real quick. It's fine too, because it's very easy to get hold of, and it'll allow us some cheap recruitment offices. Because the shield wall, while it's bad, is minus 50% building upkeep, and we've got really good quirks on it. Better recruitment offices, better pillaging, so that redeems it in my eyes right now. And I really just want more hegemony so we could start building at our main base is my biggest concern at the moment. And we just need to be doing more pillaging as well. Okay, we'll get an annex on the shield wall. Oh my goodness. To take the middle, it would just be this region here and this region, because there's a mountain here. So it would be a desert surround with just these two regions. Maybe that's what we're doing then. Maybe so. Camouflage and stuff and things. Okay, if we were doing that, we would need Heir of Arrakis. But we also would be in fighting with Harkonnens probably in order to do that. We'll do some pillaging while we wait. Pillage, pillage, pillage all day long. Pillage, pillage, pillage while we sing that song. We're going to opt for the extra manpower. And let's get that scan out before we forget. We'll prep another scan because we'll need one sooner or later. Harkonnen's over there. 7 days left before we could annex that. And I'm not off to a huge military start either, so we could... It's conceivable that we could struggle with the Harkonnens if they're properly prepared for a little bit of fast aggression. Do I want... I think I probably do want Sandfall. We got... Over here we've got Vernius. Let's prioritize getting that Sandfall grab. That looks good. What's this guy doing over here? He needs statecraft stuff. Noisy as Shai-Hulud in a rage. Looks pretty good. Maybe somewhere else on our... Probably double up on Arrakis right now. We'll be fine on the manpower in the short term. Get an annex on Sandfall. We're going to get more manpower over here. Money looks fine. Siege is cooking fine. We'll keep pillaging. And I got my eyes to the west. In 3 days we could take that. That's the next plan. We would like peace with Vernius though, because we want their tech. Give us your technology. Vernius has accepted. Very wise of you, Vernius. Alright, Sandfall is up. And it's got energy sources in it. We could put a recycling plant in it too, because we're rich, we're wealthy and powerful, Fremen. Let's do a little more. Nah, am I going to pillage? Am I going to beeline to the west? Let's beeline. Let's get over there and grab it while the grabbing's good. Let's get going. Get going, folks. We'll start trading with this siege. There's got to be more sieges out and about in the world as well, somewhere. Alright, we ought to be able to get there. Money's fine, so we'll do more red stuff. Maybe. How's our water? Our water is abysmal. Do I recycling vats? I hate recycling vats. I just sit on terrible water. No, our water is abysmal and our wind is bad too. I guess we'll pick up recycling vats early. It feels like a waste to me, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. We're not going to buy any chome. We could someday, but not this day. Make sure our warriors are out front. Looks good. Make sure the tech is red, like blood in the sand. Good. Space and Guild. Alright, so we grab this one, and we grab that one, and we got a deep desert surround. In which case, we kind of want the... Oh, we already got the Heir of Arrakis, courtesy of our Vernius friends. So we just get that deep desert surround, and then all is well. 97. 2 authority short. Timed it almost perfectly. Do I want to reveal more sieges, maybe? Just instead of the extra authority? Animation's chatting with me in Discord. He wants to debrief on the game. I'd love to talk to you about it, my man, but at the moment, we're battling. Another raider just popped out here, and I think that means that there's a siege right here, so we could probe set up that one. Probe another probe. Landsrat is out and about. We still have dog shit for influence. We're not going to incite any rebellions. We would love territory contest. See if we can maybe push that over with our paltry amount of votes. Because we already have 2 specials to our name, so that would be a free 1,000 hedge. Wouldn't mind at all. Thanks for sticking around, folks. You get a surprise game out of it as well. Our tourney match went so quickly, we had enough time to do an extra on top. And I'm feeling good. I like our spot. I like our territory so far. We did get a territory contest. Excellent. All factions lose Landsrat standing. Also excellent. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put some missiles in here too. Make them whistle like a missile. What's going on? We're getting attacked. That's alright. We got defenses here. Are there any more spice around us? No, these dirty Vernius have taken all of my spice. There's a spice up to the west. We could go back and pillage things while we're busy. Because we're about broke. In fact, we're so broke, let's go grab that. Well, no, I kind of want that. I kind of want the extra red tech. We'll be fine. We could pillage just very quickly, and then we'll be back in the green in no time. What are we turning into parts? Probably Plascrete at this point. Can you guys hurry this up? I need the money. There's a big ol' Harkonnen force over here. Oh, he's getting the annex on what I wanted. I guess we'll march south. I'm guessing this, we can see all the spice fields. We could just walk down and grab some good ones. Okay, we gotta do a little bit of a pillaging tour here in order to refill the coffers. Military base, missile turret here, because we expect, look, there are 2 special regions adjacent to us, so I'm sort of forced to go murder Harkonnens, aren't I? Even if I didn't want to, and that's not necessarily the case. I kind of do want to as well. Even if I didn't want to, I'd have to. I'd be forced to, just by the way the map is made up. Fadakin will be fine. We could do a little trade down here with that siege. We do need some water. Please, sir, may I have some water? Wind strength 1. Here's some wind. So we've been very greedy with that water, and we're about to pay for it right now, as everybody's so thirsty. So far, so good, though. Territory contest. I don't really have any extra specials I could obviously get a hold of. Maybe if I push into the middle, we could pick up Space Cruiser Wreck. That is very viable. A middle Space Cruiser Wreck. Oh, are we all going to die here because I've gone too greedily with that water? We're going to have some casualties, I think. Ooh. So thirsty. 4 water. Not enough water, it turns out. I even built the recycling vats. I'm just been greedy. It's alright. It frees up for more Fadakin. Chom is out and about, but we're not going to worry about it. Let's refill our water down here. And we're low on... We'll go back here. We're going to turn off the plascrete and turn back into this... you know the word. Solari. Get some Solari out of it. We need to refill the coffers, and then we can do more pillaging. While we're waiting, we could grab juicy points of interest around. We got a lot of authority points of interest around us too. If I wanted to annex Space Cruiser, it would take 138. Let's prep ourselves a supply drop. That seems like it might be relevant sooner or later. And hidden tracks, always important. To the west here, this is 2 wind. Boy, that is not a lot of wind. Not a lot of wind. Okay, we can go up and kill those guys now. I'll grab this up here. This could also be something expensive in here. Probably a extra plascrete makes good sense there. That's fine. This also needs something expensive up here, but we're light on the plascrete still. We do have Shamoom, that's right. I basically don't play Shamoom. Villages producing at least 12 water give stuff. Villages will produce extra water with empty building slots. So we should not be building stuff if we want to have more water. Don't like Shamoom. She just doesn't work for me. But we're up to 20 water now, which is plenty to work with. Wait, that's got some blessed plascrete in it, so we'll leave that be. 45 of 45. Getting the military propaganda up. That's pretty good. We're going to want Sand Brotherhood sooner or later. This looks mostly good to me. There's the Harkonnen base. We're not that close. Oh, we need to finish our deep desert surround. I kind of forgot about that entirely. Well, I got busy with my pillaging. Let's go do that. Let's get that deep desert going. That will make our lives a lot easier in all sorts of ways. Okay, we got. Let's put it like a a heavy militia in each village, just so we've got a little something. Landsrad's coming up. We ought to be able to finish our deep desert surround there. Is there anything else I want in here? Not necessarily. Yeah, I think we'll grab some of the goodies in the middle. Keep a close eye on the Harkonnens to the west, who are our one true rival over there, I think. If we could catch out some Harkonnens, we could do quite well. We don't want to spend any of our influence, so we don't need any of that. Dear to the minor houses, extra assassins, military developments. We care about if this happens. I guess we just want to lean into more military tech, which is fine because there's still a bunch more military tech we want. It does not pass. Assassins for the Harkonnens. So we do still want that though. Okay, we'll pick up Sand Brotherhood and then we'll come back. Oh, we need sky gazing too. There's so much stuff we want. I guess we're getting sky gazing from the Vernius, so we don't need to worry too much about it. Make some donkeys. Because donkeys are the way. Okay, we're getting our deep desert surround up. That should be very nice for us. We will want to get Arrakis eventually so we don't lose it out in case Vernius decides they don't like us anymore. 155 for this, but that's easy peasy. We'll just go to the Water Sellers caravan over here. And grab this. And then that. House Vernius has launched infiltration cells against you. What the hell? What the hell, boys? We've only just started. We've only just started. Rude. Just for the bonuses, my guy. He knows he got caught. Oh Lord, that's pretty funny actually. Just for the bonuses, my guy. Wasn't there another? Okay, there's this one water over here. I'll tell you what, I changed my mind. Stop that annex. I want to do this. Finish this one up first. I don't want to pillage that actually. I want to annex that one too. Bonus water, bonus port econ building. What would I put here for econ buildings? There's sort of nothing worthwhile here. Guess I could make adjacent regions cheaper. Got the space cruiser online. That ought to supercharge our spaceship part production. Alright, we got a space and rack up. Let's get ready. Ooh, we can recruit a hero. Now, people tell me that Othame is the way to go, but I don't believe people. We're getting Chani. My dear, dear Chani. And then we'll go fight some Harkonnens. Maybe. First of all, we'll head south and we'll pillage some of this stuff. More agents. Let's go ahead and put them on counterintelligence. It's pretty early to have anybody on counterintelligence. But, you know. You no longer have enough Solari to send to the recycling center. Oh my god, we're broke! We're not making enough spice. We don't have enough spice fields by us. Though I guess we are doing this one. Let's stick a crew in that one. We could crew out our harvesters, really. We should have enough money once we finish this attack here. Which we should be able to do pretty quickly. Pillage here. Are any of these points of interest any good for me? Not particularly. We're so broke. We've got no money. I want to do that annex there, so let's do that. We'll leave that guy alone. We'll do pillaging up here. We are paying a lot for a chunky military. Shamoon, why aren't you making us more money? $123. Just one drive. I've been very on point for all of my annexes. I've been like one authority off every time I get somewhere. Feels nice. Feels like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm actually planning ahead. Of course, we know that's not true. There's no planning. We're just going by the vibes, going by the Fremen vibes here. And the Fremen are vibing pretty well. We do already have Stalwart Alliance. Maybe we just, maybe we put an emphasis up on valuable trinkets? I don't know. This guy, I don't know. A little bit of water probably would be fine. Pillage. We'll just do some more pillaging over on our way over. Maybe we could pick some Harkonnens off and go pillage them. Where are my Thopters? Let's keep some Thopters over in Harkonnen lands, maybe. Because we would like to catch their army out, if at all possible. In the meanwhile, we need more donkeys. Listen to the sand. This siege is friendly. We could ally with them for extra militia help. This siege would make all buildings cheaper. Let's do that, actually. That'll help our economic prospects quite a bit. We got military bases and missile turrets up already. We don't want things to get too out of hand, so we should probably stop the Harkonnens before they get any more dug in there. The game censors the word assassination, so butt-buttonation is the workaround. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't want extra Solari upkeep, though. So we'll vote against that, because my army is large and expensive. Feeling pretty good though. We're almost at a full stack, which means it's almost time to go fight people. Who will we fight? Well, it's a mystery. We'll just see, I guess. Who are we waiting on? Vernius is thinking. We did pull a little bit of tech off there. Any more good points of interest I should be researching? Here's a red one right there. So I do have... No, we don't have desert watches yet, so I'm not invisible in my own territory, so it'll be a little... it'll be obvious that I'm coming, at least, is the problem.
What do you need? The sand muffles our steps.
Pillage here. Free for Dakin? Nope, we're already at 65 of 65, so we don't need a free for Dakin right now. It's time to get the ceremonial caves online if they weren't already, because we're about to pick a fight. Oh, there was a teeny tiny Harkonnen force there.
We are listening. Listen to the sand.
Let's go cause them a great deal of grief.
We're here. We trust you, Liet. We're Arrakis claws. The sand muffles our steps. We welcome you.
The sand muffles our steps. Looks pretty good. We're winning enough that we could carefully micro our weaker troops out. Looking pretty good. I think the Harkonnens are in a spot of bother here.
You must tell me. What do you need? The turret is a nice gift from our
Are we destroying the turret? Are we fighting their troops yet?
We make less noise than a mouse.
Looking favorable. House Carino wants to trade with you. Peace. I accept, Carino. We do got baddies on us. Harkonnens. Ooh, we got a big Harkonnen force. A relief force coming in. Chani, run.
It's already light.
Don't get eaten by worms, Chani.
I won't leave a thread to follow.
Look how fast they rebuilt that big army. Were they just not there in the first place? Ooh, they got hit by a worm bad. We got hit by a worm bad. Holy moly, we lost a lot of guys there. Well, I guess we gotta back off here. That worm got more of us than I had expected. And we got faster Harkonnen reinforcements than expected, too. Good for him.
We're ready to hunt the invaders. The trap is tight. Thus it is spoken.
We got Sardaukar. Free Sardaukar came from the Emperor.
Always stay alert. We're packed. We'll stay safe all the way. The turret is a nice gift from our enemies. We'll wait there. Whatever you wish, my mother. Are we needed? The desert will surprise you.
And we've got an admin burden on us? Oh, Misa. Misa no like Harkonnens. This guy's probably gonna die in the desert, so I want to try and kill as many Harkonnens as possible first. We're on them in the desert. The Sardaukar are actually doing great. Thanks, House Carino. And we don't even care if the Sardaukar die. Sardaukar doing great, doing executes here. Nice. Oh, we're getting liberated back home. Let's clean this guy up, and then we can go back and try and clean that liberate up if possible. Missile turret. We gotta go home. We gotta stop that liberate down there. We got trouble all over. Stiffer resistance from the Harkonnens than we were expecting. But you like to have a little bit of trouble. You like to work for it. Harks got on there before I could get there to stop him. But it's annoying. It's very annoying, Harkonnens. Let's get the donkeys
I
going.
have 2 eyes. I have 2 feet. Quickly, it is already light. The land is beautiful, but there is much grief in it.
He's micromanaging now, too. What a villain. You're not allowed to micromanage your army. But the Fremen are invincible. While we're invincible, though, I do want probably a military factory online.
I am Chani, daughter of Liet.
Chani escapes alive. That's good news. Harkonnens want peace. Unfortunately, your terrain is just too juicy here. Spicefield special. Although we got a lot more Harkonnens landing momentarily. Those Harkonnens, they're coming in thick. We got another admin burden on us. He's got to be Pitter. I hate Pitter. Diplomatic Congress. Can't do anything about that if people want to diplomat us out, if they give it to us or if they give it to the Harkonnens. Private mandate for House Harkonnens. Oh, that stinks too. I guess we'll just take that free money though. Oh no, we're gonna miss our spice tax! Ah, spice tax! We were hard selling into it when we ought not to have been. Fremen military mostly wiped. Those are my friends though, they don't care if I've been wiped. Whoop, we got pieced out. That's unfortunate. It was on the Harkonnens with their own votes. They got the stink and they also got the pillaging. Well, it is what it is. It's really unfortunate they didn't pay my spice tax though. That was super dumb of me. Well, we'll wait the mandated 7 days. Let's maybe rethink this army comp a bit. I don't think it's got enough donkeys in it. Extra militia or extra military building. Yeah, we could make that actually. Get our barracks online. Our econ is doing pretty well. Let's pillage things as much as possible. We're still a little ways away from our spaceship parts because we stopped trading when we went broke. So we're gonna pillage. And we're going to jump back in on Harkonnens. Are we getting... Yeah, okay, we are getting good intel from there. This guy is getting tons of bonus water. Shamoom is what? 12? At least 12 water, so if I use up one of these slots, then I won't be getting enough water. That looks great. That looks pretty great. Pillage, pillage, pillage. Pillage, 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 pillage. Oh, we're making 22 intel. Oh my god. I didn't even realize we're making that. That's an insane amount of intel, actually. For now, let's prep scav teams. Do we need more annexes? We could maybe annex the worm nest in the middle. Does anyone give... We don't have valuable trinkets yet. It's on the way. Desert Watchers is next up for us. I do think Misa's been playing so well. I do think I need to keep fighting him though. I don't want to let him get too powerful in the west. What do I want to build over here? More missiles. Pillage there. Maybe we annex this just to keep Vernius off of it. We could take the rare elements on it. In the main base, we could... Bazaar is probably what we need. Probably should have gotten that much sooner. This looks pretty good for an annex here. If I was going to annex something else, it would maybe be all the way towards the middle. I guess I don't need to right now. We can juice up the harvesters a little bit. Let's make sure we pay our spice tax in the future. And it's about time to go back and fight Harkonnens. How's the army? We could add a spire. Only 2 people to upkeep it. But no, we're very close to our big flagship. What do we need to do our... We have so much. Fremen are bunkering. Awaken the people is 2 in the chome. Okay, we could chome up, chome up then. I want Desert Watchers. I need to come back and pick up all the stuff that Vernius has given us. We'd be in kind of a bad spot tech-wise if Vernius caused us grief. If we get Chome level 2, we could start awakening the people, which is always be good. What's this guy doing here? He could build something. Extra thumper production, I think, makes good sense for us. And, oh, we could also build something over here. Admin Hall, Chome Branch. I think Admin Hall is probably the way to go. We've got the full stack. Is it time to fight Harkonnens again yet? So, if we all grouped up here properly, and if we did a thumper from here to here, okay, so we could thumper in easy. We just group everyone up. Yeah, let's do it. Boom, thumper. Jump right on top of them. Pop our Chani ability. Is that... See if maybe we could chop up the only airport here before the Harkonnens can respond. We've got an assassin in here who's not supposed to be. Nope, in come the Harks. And we're battling. Oh Lord. We coming.
I was born in the desert. I know how to use a crysknife.
So going pretty good. I think we're chopping them up fairly well. We'll see how it goes though. You never quite know those Harkonnen meat shields always come out of nowhere. Wish I knew where the other sieges were on the map. That's been kind of a thorn in my side. Fremen treaty equals free damage boost. We didn't betray it because I still wanted. I was still a little concerned about my economic position, so I didn't want to put my spice income in the pits. All factions suffer. So none of this is particularly good to put a bad riot on. We could stick Vernius down in the pits, so I guess we support that. House Carino's got a lot of votes. House Harkonnen have opted for 250 votes even. What are these silly votes? You silly people with your silly votes. We do still have a 1 Sardaukar in the army. That's fun. I love that. I love that for us. Okay, we're battling. We're battling. Chani retreats. Maybe we're losing. We'll stand on the desert to fight, so let's see if the worm will eat him. We got Chani back here. Yeah, they did it. They're all berserk, so they're standing out here. Run him down! Don't get eaten by a worm, Chani. Get off the sand. Am I getting attacked in the east? Just raiders, so we should be fine. And he admin burdened us again. Oh, he's making it really annoying to fight against. He's making it really annoying with admin burden spam. I don't like it. That alone makes me want to kill you more than I already am. And pull in extra mercenaries off the map wherever we could find them. I don't need a supply drop anymore. We'll get rid of that. We could... Why can't we do... Okay, we haven't quite gotten level 2 yet on it. I wanted to start inciting the people. Oh, it's a very annoying admin burden. So the admin burden, of course, he used to put on my base, minus 60% military unit recruitment time. So it makes it really, really hard. Fremen far ahead. No chome, no cook. I'm not ahead. That's not even a lie, although I should start cooking. We do have valuable trinkets. And we should get the altar up. Extra mobile turrets. There's some more troops coming. We don't have our desert watchers yet, so we could see my army here. He has a deep desert. The Fremen are taking over. There's special. Where's my other special? Yeah. We'll bust down all these plascretes and replace with craft workshops. I think we just want lots of donkeys. Donkey Force 5. You're his neighbor, take care of that, says Marvel. More manpower for plascrete? That's probably fine, actually.
The turret is a nice gift from our enemies. What is it I may do? Arrakis belongs to the Fremen. We're listening. The slow way is the safe way. Listening. We're listening. Lead us to freedom. This path is dry.
Fall back. He's trying to surprise us with extra troops.
Arrakis belongs to the Fremen. Listening. Are we needed? On it. Lead us to freedom.
We'll just chill out, heal up. We've got our tech, so we're starting to now starting to now be invisible when we're in our own territory. He's got a big force there. We could head down south and fight down south, probably is the way to do it. Stretch them out. Just gotta get everyone together. We could even walk right practically into it. What else do I need in my empire? Our manpower is really fine. I could switch that to... Nah, I guess I still want the research center there.
Is it time to move?
Ah! They've taken my spice fields. They dropped an Imperial base in the middle.
They are dense.
That's rude.
We'll start our harsh. It is for the best.
We've got the altar online. The altar we'll give our own units stealth, and we'll make the altar stealth. Boom. Oh, he's going up north. That's huge for us, actually. Thumper. If we could thumper right on top of his army, that's actually gigantic.
The land will move below us. I have 2 eyes. I have 2 feet. Lead us to freedom. We'll protect our land. Listening. Chris knives are
All right, we jump on top of him. We cut him to pieces.
They are parasites. We'll protect our land.
And indeed, we have done a bit of cutting.
We have no fear. Thus it is spoken. I won't leave a threat to follow. Arrakis belongs to the Fremen. We trust you, Liet.
Ooh.
The desert is not kind to the careless. We're needed there. The slow way is the safe way. Not bad for a pile of junk.
I don't want to be eaten by worms.
This path is dry. We have faith. Is it time to move?
House Carino wants to trade with you. He's gonna give me more Sardaukar. What a bro. Okay, that was pretty good for us. We are a tad light on the thumps. Let's maybe awaken the people down there, and then we could prep some hidden thumpers to move around a little easier. I don't think we need hidden tracks anymore, unless we want to slow people down. Landsrad guards, yes. The elected faction gets assassins. Let's, oh god, I guess we're maxed out on influence. We might as well try. Let's try to make that pass then. I don't want to give him guards. I shouldn't have voted for it. I think we would have been better off just not giving him guards. It does give him a whole lot more rebellions to work with though, so that's fun. Let's maybe finally grab some of this extra stuff. We never had our donkeys buffed. Move the blimp down. We'll have everyone follow the blimp, and we move the blimp down slowly. March everyone else down while we're indivisible.
What is it I may do? The land is beautiful, but there is
We got more agents up. We got manpower like whoa.
We'll follow the path you set before us.
More guys down here. Yep, we'll jump on here and we'll take the well of riches from him because it's very lightly defended. It does have an airfield. Well, I guess we'll allow him to fly in on the airfield because I don't think he has enough troops to really stop us at this point. Is he flying? There's the flight. He's gone heavy duty into the gunners. Let's try and circle around him while we're all invisible. Jump on him from that side. Good. We ignore the guards. We try and pick up his actual units. Good, good, good. Gunners were a bad choice. Attacked in the east by some troublesome raiders. Help! Harkonnen's call for aid. We are cooking plus 31. Harkonnens are making plus 40. He's fine. He's fine. Quit your complaining, Harks. Oh, there's an empty spice field down there. Send more. He's taking my shit. It's true. You are helpless in the face of the Fremen. We do need to, however, build up militia in our other territories. Vernius, fight him! Those Harks do like to protest, don't they? You guys are even, he says. It's true, he's just speaking hard truths there, Harkonnens. And we're pulling up a little extra spice there. He's taking a special. It is though. The Fremen are taking over. It's literally that. It's very funny. He put some stink on us, actually. We're just gonna stand in the stink, though. Is there anything that's gonna find us more sieges? Because we're about to get the cap, and then we ought to have the heal from being in the base, at least. And it's hurting more than I would have anticipated. It's alright, we'll tear this force up at least. We're getting money when our own guys die. Okay, now we just need to sit on our base and we ought to be able to heal through it. That's the idea, at least. Maybe? Are we not? It's gonna expire, right? Before we all die? It's almost expired. Live, Johnny! Okay, he's ahead enough. I'm not even 20k yet, my man. I do think it would be fun just to straight up base kill him, though. Wouldn't that be sort of hilarious? A little bit. Let's get another guy in the Landsrod. Because we need that for the defense breach. Keep the troops marching. We're healed up. We head up north. We pick on more Harkonnens, I think. He's annexing here. Can I get there to stop him? Because that would have been a perfect spot for me to annex. It's a shame I can't get there. Arrakis ain't that bad. I mean, not only are the other people not helping, but they're sending me Sardaukar. Let that know what the rest of the lobby thinks of you, Harkonnens. Okay. House Harkonnen wants to trade with you. It's a decline from me, dog. I got other things in my mind. Although we are low on manpower at the moment. Probably not as low as the Harkonnens are. Okay. Alright. Cannot be targeted by new infiltration cells. We do know that there are infiltration cells on us. We've got 2 on counterintelligence. We're picking up Idli Alakrab, which is important. Border defenses would be important. Is anything else critical for me? Not really. Border defenses, when that's even 20 days away. Riches of Arrakis would be nice, but that's far away too. We'll just count on not being assassinated. Cannot be targeted by new infiltration cells. Solari granted for House Vernius for no benefits for Chom. I guess we have not been watching the Chom market. No, nobody's Choming. Alright, that's the good news. I guess we'll take the money. We'll take the money. Even if this doesn't pass, that's fine. Free money is good because we are sort of operating at a negative. We're going to get gear regged whether we want to or not. No, it was Vernius. I'm learning this faction purely off watching other people. Well, good. We'll give you... I have... Why aren't you peace... I feel no pity for picking up on Misa here. He was so dominating in his game. We're totally within our rights to be wrecking him here. He hit us with an assassin there. You'd love to see that. Let's do like another donkey and a skirmisher. Carino, help! In Mount Idaho, help me! I am too weak, he says. Airfield comes in.
We're needed there. We'll grab everything we can off their corpses.
Oh, he's the dreaded trickle in. Not enough men, my man. This is what I was complaining about for your comrades in the other game. If you don't attack with enough men, you don't get anything done. I'm in danger. Help! At this point, the tears are just cracking me up a little more. He's taking a special. Vernius. I can't do anything. I love it. It's very funny to me. Once again, you were so good in your last game. Sometimes we gotta just give you a little bit of a boom in the next game. When nobody booms quite like the Fremen. I would love a base kill. Is it in the cards? I think I need more lands red. Help! I mean, we are gonna pretty soon gonna be popping into the lead. There's the 20k. That's gonna make the rest of the folks a little uncomfortable. We could clear this one out. This guy here, maybe like one of those. That gets liberated. We can make another spice harvester now. Back off. We're not fighting. We'll leave. So we go and maybe we annex this and then we attack his main base. I think is the plan. No, we've got trouble in paradise. Vernius marches to the east. Where is my army here? Let's thumper here. Can we reach that far? No, of course we can't. Why would we be able to reach that far? Prep our defense breaches. We got another harvesting caravan. We can get out and about. We don't think the Harkonnens can do anything too nasty to us. We just get over here so that we're all invisible. And then we strike the enemy. He has Nuwa, so we don't need to be too concerned about things. We do still have Sardaukar, which is very funny to me. Oh, he had visibility on us there. I thought we had an opportunity for a better engage there. We target Nuwa down 1,000,000%. More Fade can come out and about. Try and get Chani out of there if at all possible. Continue to pick up rail guns where we can. I don't think he's healing with his fight engineers, so that's for the best. We're actually getting a little chopped up here. Getting a little scuffed. It's fine if that gets liberated. We want to make sure the Harkonnens don't get up to anything over there. Yeah, that was just a bad engage on our part. I thought one of my guys was not invisible, or he might have had stealth detection on his fight engineers. That's true. That's true. I wasn't thinking about that. Do I need infiltrators? I don't know. I guess we're light on the manpower, technically. Oh, and oh, that's right. I'm not friends with them anymore, so I lost my extra turrets and stuff. Free agent with a ghost trait. think the idea, maybe we could bleed him a little more. We're probably going to lose this anyway. Piece from the Harkonnens. Well, we got on the point in time, actually.
The desert is not kind to the careless. Are we needed? I won't leave a thread to follow. Weapons have no loyalty to their maker. The turret is a nice gift from our enemies. Kulan is
He's pretty tanky here, surprisingly so.
I am Tani, daughter of Liet. We'll grab everything
Worm!
we can off their corpses.
Run away. We're in big trouble with the worm. Landsrad's coming out. Development Idli Alakrab was patented and stopped me on it. Okay, we'll get our own border defenses up. That's probably more important. I'm gonna come back for the Idli Alakrab. We are still friends. Oh, Shahilud ate all of my donkeys. Shahilud my donkeys. The desert takes the donkeys. Portfolio scrutiny. I probably should have just left Vernius alone and gone all in on the Harks. I feel like we gave him architectural surveys. Survey the Harkonnens. I'll do the rest. I can't even really do anything about it. I'm out of manpower, unfortunately. I'm all bark and no bite. Where's my manpower at? Thought I had manpower. Apparently not. Not enough. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, but not a lot of manpower in my stuff.
You must tell me.
Did it pass? Did it pass? It did pass. Carino voted for it. That's very funny. But Harkonnen's got a truce with everybody. All factions cannot buy Chome shares, and selling Chome grants stuff. This is a silly game. It's just a silly game. We're struggling on the manpower, unfortunately. 41 daily, you'd think would be good.
There's wind coming.
But we had some heavy losses versus the Vernius. We can pull in some extra mercenaries from around the map.
I am Tani, daughter of Liet.
Where's my rally point? We might have to go down there and defend that even.
We'll stay safe on the way.
We do have architectural surveys on us, and we don't have any Chome to sell, right? Nobody's got any Chome. I'm cooking twice as much as anyone else, so we got that going for us. We've got massive amounts of, you know, intel.
Kulan is quiet.
Morphodakin. This is getting pillaged by the Harkonnens. Are they just hiding in their base, maybe? They've got troops. They've got guys. Oh no, a mercenary was out front and took extra hits. Unfortunately, we didn't have. Yeah, our loss. The loss of our army is slowing us down from being able to put revenge on the Harkonnens.
Weapons have no loyalty to their
Indeed, he's marching up north there. Where are the other damn sieges on this map? You, show me a siege. There. Way over there in Vernius lands. We're light on water again, too. All the resources are too tight.
A temple made out of profane debris. On the lookout.
Oh, we have a peace treaty with him, and not quite the force that I want to deal with him.
We welcome you, yet the desert is not kind to the careless. On our way.
Wish we had a siege over here in the west that we could
Are we needed?
rally to.
Weapons have no loyalty to their maker. We'll stay safe on the way.
And
Listening. What is it I may do?
we jump on his hero and kill it first. So we got that going for us. He does get his main ability off. Chani's taking some hits, so I want her to run if at all possible.
Much grief in it.
Lead us to freedom. She's nice and speedy is the good news.
The land is beautiful, but there is much grief in it. The land is beautiful.
We're kiting the whole army with Chani. Fortunately, she's very fast is the good news.
A threat to follow.
We kill all the Harkonnens. We only have like a few more days before time is up.
Grief in it.
Let's quick run and jump on their base. This is foolish. Very, very foolish.
Not bad for a pile of junk.
He's on my base! Alright, let's see what we could do.
Time to move.
Karina, come to me.
Kulan isn't quiet. Off-worlders will regret
I think I'm gonna run out of water, actually. My supply drop's not ready. I need another day on it. Damn it. Damn it, I'm gonna run out of water. Chani died. Everybody's dying. I didn't have my supply drop ready in time. We delved too greedily and too deep. Oh no, they're on my base.
The turret is a
Oh no.
from our enemy.
Oh no. Did not see that. That's what happens when you look away for a moment. I'm in danger. He's starting to fall back. Maybe.
The desert is not kind to the careless. We welcome you, the end.
I guess we're gonna have to do something about this Vernius force.
A temple made out of profane debris. We welcome
Everyone all in attack. Uh-oh.
the desert is not kind to the careless. The turret is a nice gift from our enemies.
Rude. Rude, Vernius.
The land will move below us.
We're broke now, too. Harkonnens are attempting to assassinate me. Oh, we're too broke for a cell search. Oh, fuck. We need to pillage.
We'll take them by surprise.
We need money. We can't afford a cell search. Oh, no, that's so bad.
Are we needed?
So bad. Oh, dear. Okay, we'll abandon this. We'll abandon this. And that.
Kulan isn't quiet.
Start our cell searches. We had to give up the front lines. It sounds like the consequences of your actions come to rear its head. It's true. We've been playing fast and loose with conventions of peace here. Hui. What do we need to fight this Vernius force? They're all pretty armored. This is a goofy game already. This is a maximum goof game, it's true. Isn't there like an armory thing for infiltrators to do scramble? Yeah, okay. Put some infiltrators on the docket. Your attention is needed. Let's incite a rebellion. We'll see. We probably got to search here in the front lines. And we gotta do something about this Vernius knife thrust at us. Wait a second, this isn't the beginner tournament. It is. This is what the beginners are here. Karina's still thinking. This is where the goofy loose play is at. I mean, yeah. So spoilers. Misa Like Pie did a great job and won his tournament. So we went real hard on him and tried to base kill him. But now there's people trying to base kill me, and I've got all kinds of assassins coming in all over my business. The good news is we're invisible, so they can't see us when we like search stuff. Although if we guess wrong, if it's like right here, we'll be in a bad shape. And being delayed on that first cell search was pretty bad. It might still be tight. Assigned agents. He still has 3 agents on me? Did I not get rid of any of the cells? Oh, we abandoned that one, but I think he just refreshed it. Search there, search here. Search here, search here. Uh-oh, Carino came. That's bad. Very bad. Okay, hold on. We need more. We need like defenses up here. I am too weak. No, they're going for the base kill on poor Devak. I don't have enough money to do another cell search. Let's hope we got him. Dude, we got all the agents. We got all the cells off. So we got that going for us. Vernius is ahead in the hedge. The attempt on my life has left me disfigured. They are trying to kill me, aren't they? Okay, let's clear off the supply drop. God, I don't know. Carino goes in too early. And nobody else goes in with him. He's been betrayed! Vernius is not going in with him. Or Vernius is going in later, he's hoping for. Okay, we killed the airships. That's very good for us. We got eaten by worms. It's bad for us. And we're low on manpower and our economy's in shambles. That's bad for us. Vernius is leaving. Carino's been betrayed. Carino was betrayed. Don't get eaten by worms, please. We actually have to pull back. I can't win that fight. Get rid of some of these Thopters to clear up their costs. Vernius flew down to fight the Carino base. I love it. I love it. Harkonnens are doing their business to the west. We need to do some pillaging. We are $2,000 deep in the red. Everything is breaking. We can't afford to pay our bills. All of our buildings are being sold off to pay the creditors, the Fremen creditors. Ally unit disabled. Harvesting teams have deserted? Is that true? House Harkonnen wants to trade with you. Peace.
There's wind coming. We're one with the desert. We're here.
He's taking my spice fields. He took back everything I took from him. He's lucky. We just needed a little bit more time.
The service of life. It is for the best.
And the base gets destroyed by Vernius. And Hark's looking ascendant. Traitor. Never trust a Vernius. Indeed, that was a horrible backstabbing. And we're stuck with a huge army of infiltrators, which is not the force I wanted to try to break through god-awful Vernius bunker. And we can't afford to buy anything either. We're pretty screwed, actually. We're pretty bigly screwed here. We might travel deep behind enemy lines to pick on Vernius somewhere else, because I don't think we could do anything about this front line here. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see if we could take out this airfield. Our airship might be able to tank for us. I was worried about the missiles killing all of us.
Swift as the wind. Is it time to move? The land will move below us.
We're still going to get torn apart with... my job was to make you lose. We got a blood feud for Marvel now. And as well, he should, because that was pretty gross. We lost that. Ugh. Speaking of blood feuds. We're getting torn up by the defenses. I knew we would. No, we're dead. We're dead. We lost too much economy by having to fight off the devilish Harkonnen assassination. And we got worm struck. Carino wants to trade with me. It's too late, Carino. I am too weak. I've lost everything. Tell Carino you could come help for money. Yeah, Carino doesn't need money. He's driven by revenge now. Honestly, it puts the Harkonnens in a really good spot because they have a ton of stuff. Heed your advances and live. Destroy the Harkonnens. I will if you abandon the territory adjacent to my base. What are we going to do with our votes here? I don't know. We can't really do anything with them. We'll try for tax negotiations. We're so poor. I don't know how we get out of this debt. Why are harvesting caravans minus 41? Upkeep 20 on her? I guess I didn't know that. You bargain with few chips. I'm a desperate man. I'm liable to do anything. Vernius still thinking, still chatting. The altar got hidden backdoored. That's not ideal. It's getting shot. I will not abandon, he says. Okay, well, that's not ideal. Oh, my ship is invisible, though, when it's not fighting, so it's not going to get killed. We got that going for us. Oh, dear. I think we're pretty much just screwed. Screwed. Got a couple of assassins to show for it, thanks to the minor houses. Will the altar make it home in time? Probably not. Yes, it did not. This economy, it's not good. Yeah, we're pretty screwed, folks. We had to position, we had to abandon more than, we had abandoned too much when the Harks came, because that assassination was really far progressed and we didn't have enough money to really do anything about it. Can't even afford our craft shops anymore. And we're almost dead, thanks to Carino. House Vernius wants to trade with you. No, no deal. It's totally reasonable for me not to want him to have a base next to my base. Let me know when and where you will attack. I'm gonna keep trying the villages next to my base. Lose influence for Solari? Yeah, that's a deal. Hey, we got money back. We need more manpower. We lost all the buildings like everywhere in our empire. They all got sold off. Vernius is back here too. Harkonnens are gonna win the damn game. He took all the specials down by Carino. But we can't afford to leave. The trouble is it's such a chunky defense here. Without like more troops, I can't even push into it. 1K and 150. Yeah, we need it.
He who beat you in digging, beat him in pruning. We'll follow the path you set before us. The next step in our journey.
I could annex to the west of me now, at least.
I'm on the clock.
See if we can get some sort of money back online. Carino's sending me cash. Okay. Well, we've got money now. So then we need to rebuild the empire. We got manpower is back online. We need like military bases up here. What do we need? Well, we're fine on Plascrete. Manpower, manpower, manpower is really the name of the game. Sorry, I'm talking in a softer voice because I heard some stomping around upstairs, which usually means I'm being too loud. Put a military factory back online. 24K on the Harkonnens. I have an army of 55. I'll try to draw him out. We'll go now. No, we're in a bit of trouble with these raiders coming in. Are we going to defeat them with the militia? Let's wait till the military base is done. Manpower, there's not enough manpower. In fact, we can't stop the Harkonnens, which is the biggest problem. We're getting zapped by lasers, shot by missiles. Can we win this fight quick enough to turn the missiles offline? Before we all die to them? No, we're winning the fight very slowly. He's dropping missiles on the neighboring base. That's fun, at least. But we lost so much, it's so hard to burn through those militia.
Are we needed?
We're just dying from the defenses. Help me, I am too weak.
Weapons have no. The sand is our path. We won't waste time. On the lookout.
We're just dying. We're gonna die to the defenses, and then the Harkonnens are gonna win. God damn it! Accidentally betraying Karina by saying go too early. Cannot be targeted by new infiltration cells. Yeah, we could well have like another assassination attempt on us or something. Oh, we're so out of it though. 22k with no daily cook. Yeah, we're pretty screwed. We're not going to pay our spice tax even because we don't have harvesters online because the Harkonnens took all the fields back. We were just crippled by that assassination attempt at the same time that the base kill went off at the same time that we were bankrupt. Arrgh. Sorry guys, we were having a fun game there. And then, you know what? I may have delved too greedily and too deep. I may have. We will play it out. We will play it out, but I think we are out of the running. Our only ally is Carino, who had his main base killed. So that's not a good sign. It's definitely a Vernius or a Hark game. We don't have enough, we still are lacking enough manpower to really get new things online. Like rebuild our army, and we lost a lot there going in. Maybe the I was gonna say it's halfway down. I was gonna say maybe the orbital strike will help take out buildings, but they're actually spread out enough that they're not gonna go down. And why is this Landsred taken forever? A million years forever. Okay, it's finally over. Oh no, we aggroed the defenses.
Are we needed?
The bunker, it's too powerful.
Weapons have no loyalty to their maker. The desert is not kind to the careless. The turret.
Oh yeah, I can't do anything. There's just too many missile turrets there. Units die in like 2 seconds. And the Harkonnens are taking over. Yeah, damn. It sucks that we're going to just be a spectator here for the last like 20 minutes as this game sort of peters out, but I honestly don't know what else I can hope to do here. I got to just like AFK until I get a full 65 stack, and even then it's going to be really tough. Almost per military building. Why can't I get another altar? Requires a recycling. I don't even have a recycling plant up. Okay, let's build that then. I guess we'll just slowly rebuild our infrastructure.
You must tell me.
We probably don't. We'll probably have to war with the Harkonnens here at some point. That big old Hark force marching around as if there was not a care in the world. I remember back in my day when the Harkonnens were wary of the Fremen. Space and Guild bribe is due soon. We're going to miss their bribe again because we don't have any. It's pillaging there. We don't have any spice income.
The turret is a nice gift from our enemies.
Yeah, Vernius was a dagger in our heart. And it looks like they're expanding southwards. Damn, Harks are pillaging everything I want to pillage. It's very rude. is clearly Fremen territory. Go away. You're violating the convention. Go for power boost, armory upgrade, worm to the back of a bunker, and finish off a damaged turret. I mean, that's a play. I think we're better off just slowly getting back up to our 60 stack and hoping that they're too busy to come up and fight us. We could go down here. We'll send some Thopters out and about at least, maybe to get an idea for where the Vernius army is. We don't need a scav team since we got lots of money from our friends. We could do something crazy like a defensive sabotage. God, that seems so worthless.
Kuron is quiet.
I guess, though. Ugh. Ooh, these armies are haggard. We'll go down, we'll fight this raiders off, and then we should be on call where you need, Emps. Vernius just took that middle one. Harkonnens are looking good up top, 2,700. Spice tax is not for 23 days. Gosh, I hate to let Mesa live and win, but it was Vernius who screwed us over the most, wasn't it? Descent I mean, the trouble is a bunch of those where we lost a lot of our intel income. So we can sit on what we've got now, but we're not making a ton more. We don't have anyone in the Landsred. We can move someone over. I guess Choma allows Awaken the People, doesn't it? We need 500 for Awaken the People, but that's not a bad idea. I probably should have been. That's actually a really good idea. Awaken the People on the back region to turn off the defenses, and while you take the front region. Some smart player thinking there. Okay, we got a stack to work with now. Do we have an air base? We could wait for our altar to be up. How long is that going to be? 8 days to make an altar. An altar would be nice because it would tank all the missile fire for us, which would just make it pretty trivial for us to beat the bases as long as defensive armies didn't come down. But I gotta think that defensive armies will come down at this point in the game, right? Why wouldn't they? Okay, one airfield, another airfield, or craft workshops rather, coming back online, even though I can't really afford to pay for them. Nobody's fighting Harkonnens. Vernius is annexing right there. Gosh, we probably got to get on it right now. If they're already annexing out there, yeah, we got to go, don't we?
I am Chani, daughter of Liat. We'll send them to their shade. Thus it is
Chani, I would like you to live.
as the wind.
We're Sardaukars. We have no fear. Arrakis is our home. We'll hide our tracks.
Arrakis belongs to the Fremen. Yahya Jahada. You must tell me. We'll send them to their shade.
Okay. It's going better when you have a full stack. Do I need to deliberate here? How much? 222 to annex? I don't think I have the authority anywhere for that. I do, actually. Let's go back and annex instead. We might take some land off of the Vernii here. Vern's gonna win surveys on them. Trouble is, if we get peace, I need to betray it immediately. All factions might get peace. I don't have the extra authority for really any of that nonsense. I'm guessing it's way too late to just go in for a full assassination. Yeah, I'm not prepared for it. It would take a long, long time to build up the information levels that I need on them. You need to get up to information level 3 on someone. I feel like if architectural surveys pass, it gets me killed because someone could fly to my base and base snipe me. But that might be fun. Let's make that pass. We don't want truces. Carino, oppose the truces. I guess I could have opposed the truces. Truces do pass.
There's wind coming. The land is beautiful.
We need to betray.
There's much belief in it.
Arrakis belongs to the Fremen.
Have we killed this airfield yet?
We trust you, Liet.
222.
You must tell me.
Oh no, there's another airfield over there.
At your service.
That's pretty bad. Hopefully there's not a horde of Vernius flying into me. But otherwise we ought to be able to clear this.
Liet, Yahya Jahada.
Come on, one more authority. Why is my authority pitiful? 0.4. I lose for Spacing Guild's blackmail?
Lead us to freedom.
Kulon is in play.
Oh god, he teleported in. I'm dead.
We welcome you. The
I forgot he could do that.
Listening, we'll send them to their shade. Our Chris knives are unshaded.
GG's. GG's. Flee. Fuck.
weapons have no loyalty to their maker. We're needed there. The turret is a nice gift from our enemies.
Wait, he's leaving. He's being attacked by someone else. Is the Baron on his base? He's running back. Nope, he's coming back to me. Go, my Baron, go. Oh, Baron's at 29-8, so Baron's just gonna win. Oh, Vernius fought me off. 29-9. I think it's another Misa-like Pie victory. The most unlikeliest of unlikely victories. Plus 50 daily. He's got it. GG's. GG's. I mean, my siege lived with 25% health, so I didn't really have an opportunity to keep going into the Baron. Indeed, Vernius is going to try and finish me off before the time ends. I'll let him do it. That was a funny game. Treachery doesn't pay, it seems. It almost did. I think probably there was just so much good territory for the Harkonnens. Carino should not have let the Harkonnens take the two specials like way down by them, but the indisputable hegemony of House Harkonnen, Misa like pie, a threat to be reckoned with, folks. I think he officially loses the tag of beginner. That was a fun one, though. Main base health. It was almost exactly when we started the Harkonnen base, they started on our base. I didn't even see it for like some time. The betrayal of the Carino army was very epic, though. When they go in, and then it was very like a Braveheart moment. The Carino army marches in, and then the Vernius army just like turns around and leaves them without their reserves, and they get slaughtered. And then Carino goes and burns down their base. That was awesome. The game was worth it just for that. Rough times for the Fremen, though. The Harkonnen assassinations are so dangerous. We had to abandon so much territory just so we didn't instantly die to it. Yeah, it was still fun. I didn't even know the faction. He made it work at Pro. Yeah, he played it really well. Like honestly, like his fighting was not that bad. He somehow managed to make enough chome, or enough hedge rather. You know, I guess he had like, look at these special. He's got the White Rift down here. That alone is huge. He's got the Crescent Ridge down here, and then he's got the two specials up by me. So he's sitting on at least 4 specials, and one of them the White Rift. So he's making plus 50 a day. That's a ton. Now we eventually did take stuff from him, but he was still doing fine. Like he wasn't broken by then. He had 2 spices in the back. You see what he did to me, the bastard? Poor Marvel. Poor Marvel got tricked into doing Vernius's dirty work and then stabbed in the back for it. It is fun to base kill someone, but I definitely was not a threat at that point. Carino could have easily gone home or just warred straight in with Vernius, and then it would have left me to fight more Harkonnens. It was cruel. It's true. Free lactose intolerance. Very cruel. Vernius abandoned them like the Battle of Manzikert. Well, all right, folks. There is some backstabbing skullduggery for you. We didn't manage to get a W. We beat up Misa Like Pie a little bit, but he managed to come back and secure the victory. Since I was a crippled Vernius and nobody else was able to really contest him, he was too far away. Or I was a crippled Fremen, and Vernius was too far away, and Carino was crippled by Vernius as well. Vernius stabbed us both in the back. Oh, dirty dogs. Solid stream. Drop a like. Yeah, thanks for joining me, folks. I had a great time. Dune Spice Wars, always a lot of fun. Let me think what's coming up for us here. I've got at least another Dune Spice Wars video saved already that I can drop for you in another day or two. I've got a Warcraft 3. I don't know if I'm going to stream it or not, but I'm playing in Turin's Warcraft 3 tournament next weekend on the 7th, I believe it is. So if you want a little more Davok, you could check in on... We'll see if I stream it. I don't know if I could play Warcraft 3 and talk at the same time. And if I'm not going to talk to you, I don't know if I just want to stream and be quiet. That feels weird. But I'll be playing in that tournament. That's all day long. It's like best of 5 games. I'm the 2nd seed, so I expect to do pretty decent in it. Yeah, that should be fun. And then in the meantime, there'll probably be other stuff here or there. GG, Misa Like Pie, what a champion. Undefeated today. Good playing with you guys. Just sort of mutter at us. Yeah, that's what it would be. Goddamn Blade Masters. Grunts. Yeah, I could mutter at you for sure. I'll think about it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I can comment on top. I'll practice a little bit and see in the off season, see if it works. But that's it for tonight. We've got ourselves a fine stream going. A relatively quick beginners tournament. A relatively drawn out and agonizing game with some random buddies of the stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to call it there. Good fun. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And